Look one by one, the pages remind me you'll always be villains. For you, angels have fallen, now they're gone. See, now they're gone, forever gone from the hell that served as my one and only home. Now it may hurt today, tomorrow I'll be heading my way. I tried, what did we expect? My dearest friend, tell me when we shall make it end. So let me take your hand like one of those mad tappity tappity tap. Dance a last dance, sing da da di da do di da do, la do da di da do di do. Spending my no prom, longing for this moment, brewing all this hatred. So I have a reason to see you gone. Don't you worry, I saved a spot for recycle bin. Stop now, one by one. Your desires convince me you've always been human. For you, angels have fallen, now they're gone. See, now they're gone, forever gone from the stage that taught us our one and only dreams. What's more to say, pain always catches up to those who chooses to stay. Though it may hurt today, tomorrow I'll be heading my way. Look one by one, the pages remind me you'll always be villains. For you, angels have fallen, now they're gone. See, now they're gone, forever gone from the hell that served as my one and only home. Now it may hurt today, tomorrow I'll be heading my way. I tried, what did we expect? My dearest friend, tell me when we shall make it end. So let me take your head like one of those mad men. Tip tappity tappity tap, dance in my head, sing da da di da do di da do, da do da di da do di do. Spending my no wrong, longing for this moment, brewing all this hatred. So I have a reason to see you gone. Don't you worry, I saved a spot for recycle bin. Stop now, one by one. Your desires convince me you've always been human. For you, the shells have fallen, now they're gone. See, now they're gone, forever gone from the stage that allowed us our one and only dreams. What's more to say, pain always catches up to those who chooses to stay. Though it may hurt today, tomorrow I'll be heading my way. Look one by one, the pages remind me you'll always be villain. my dearest friend, tell me when we shall make it end. So let me take your head like one of those madmen. Tappity tappity tap, dance a last sing. Da da dee da dee da doo, da doo da dee da dee doo. Spending my no long longing for this moment, brewing all this hatred. So I have a reason to see you again. Don't you worry, I saved a spot for you.
Alrighty. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing tonight? I know it's a bit of a shock that I'm actually on time for once. But anyways, tonight we are going to be continuing the Library of Ruina Nuzlocke. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with things, last time we played Library of Ruina, I had come up with the... Well, I say genius. Frankly, it was painful idea. Okay, I accidentally clicked my stop stream button when I was trying to tab back over. That was stupid. But anyways, I came up with the genius yet very painful and stupid idea to do a Nuzlocke for this game. How that essentially works is every key page, including the key pages of the characters that they have equipped by default, count as a life. When that key page is lost, we're no longer allowed to use it. That includes like the default librarian. The only exceptions for this are instances where the character is forcibly killed off. Like, for example, in like Hawkma's realization where like two characters are forcibly killed off, or like other events where like the character is forcibly killed, like a forced loss scenario. If I have control over it and I lose the character, then that's my fault. Can't use him anymore. Other than that, everything else is still relatively simple. So, that being said, let us go ahead and resume our cursed endeavors. I mean, frankly, that's like the only proper name that I can give for it, because these endeavors are just cursed. Anyways, this is our team from last time. Originally, Roland was equipped with Mars's key page before I lost it like a dumbass. So instead, I just have him with like the most generic slash build possible. Yui is using Taeyeon's page with just some general like bleed related stuff. And then Isabelle is doing a burn build using Lulu's page. There's not like a crazy amount to deck building this early in the game, considering we're not really even like... We've only just gotten to Urban Legends, so there's not really too much like complex deck building that you can do at this point. But yeah, let's go ahead and send out our first invitation of the night.
언제까지 무릎 꿇고 버틸 거야?
You can't kneel forever, you know. I beg you. My juniors.
우리 애들이 모두
They're all
죽었어.
dead. So anyways, for those of you that don't know, San was the dumbass who last time sent the streetlight office in to go and try to take on the library. His subordinates were Mars and Lulu. Mars then tragically perished, so Lulu decided to gather up all of her friends and take them into the library to try and exact revenge. Of course, that failed, and she died as well. So now here's San crying to his superiors to try and get help. There's not really too much else to say here. It's just him crying to his superiors about like needing aid. Also, I hope you guys let me know if like the volume and everything is all right.
그 말만 몇 번째야.
You've said that a million times now. It's gonna ring in my ears for
나도 알아.
days.
너네
Look,
사무소
I
애들이
know what happened.
도서관이라는
Your
곳에
crew all
갔다
died on a
죽은
place
거.
to a trip called the library.
치마이에서 힘을 빌려주면
I'd like to
좋겠어.
request Zwei for support.
그 아이들의
I want to
책망이라도
retrieve their
회수하고
books at
무작정
least.
협회 본사까지
And
와서
barging
이렇게
into
버티는
Zwei
건 좀
HQ to
아니지.
beg like this is
알만큼
not the
아는
right
녀석이
way
왜
to
이럴까?
do it. Come on, you know better than that.
이사도라,
Isadora,
나도 이렇게
please,
부탁할 테니까.
let's help him out just
참고해.
once.
이번
Can we at
건에
least
대한
request our
검토
superiors for a
요청이라도.
review of the
줄리아,
case? Julia, I know you're
아무리
friends with this
친구라
idiot, but
해도
even then, we shouldn't
우리는
act upon
정보만
friendship or
움직이면 안 되는
attachment.
거야.
The whole system could
그랬다간 모든 게
collapse
무너지는
otherwise.
거라고.
For those of you that are unaware, the Zwei Association is one of the 12 different large-scale fixer associations present throughout the world of Library of Ruina / Lobotomy Corp / yada yada. Essentially, they're since they're one of like the large-scale fixer groups, they have all of the other smaller groups like that office working under them. So because of that, we have what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. Bleh. So because of that, San is now reporting to them for help.
이놈 저놈 가리지 않고
The lobby will be
들러붙고
filled with all
빌려오는
kinds of
녀석들로.
miserable folks,
이거
begging
노비가
and
참
pleading for
말단을
help.
해도
You may be a
너
low-grade
또한
pipsqueak, but you're
직접
still a
해결했으니까.
Zwei Associate
이
Fixer
기회에
nonetheless.
똑같이 알아둬.
You better remember what you learned today. Why don't you lose your strongest ego page to the next fight?
이번 일은
Strongest
나에게도
key
책임이
page to the
있는
next fight
거니까.
instantly. I pray not. But I'm responsible for this
그리고
case, and
치바이에도
the association is
책임이
responsible for its
어디에도
too.
치바이와
Nowhere in our
관련있다는
records does it
증거는
say that
전혀
Zwei is
없는데.
involved in this case, though.
무슨 소리
I have no
하시는
idea what you're
꼴을
talking about,
차리니까.
miss. So that's how it is. You use us as you please, then turn your back on us so
편할 때로만.
easily.
서방
저기요.
Hello?
말은
You're putting the
똑바로
blame on the
하셔야죠.
wrong people
설사
here.
그런 거래가
Even if
뒤에서
such a
오갔다
deal did take
해도
place like you said, you must have demanded or at least
거래라는
expected a corresponding
너도
reward.
뭔가 상응하는
That's
걸
what a deal
받기로
is after
했을
all.
거잖아. 서로가 서로를
You used the
이용하는
association
거래였을
as much as the
텐데.
association
그런
used
식으로
you.
말하면 안
You don't get to
되죠.
talk like it was a one-sided extortion. Stop playing Limbus so I accidentally said ego. Ah, yeah, that's fair.
초짜 시절로
Come on,
돌아가기라도
let's not
했어?
act like rookies now.
8년
You've been in
정도
this business for 8
해결사
years.
일을
You should know how things work by now.
이사도야, 그렇게
Isadora,
하지
you don't
말할
have
건
to be so
없잖아.
harsh. We all
그래도
started off as
우리
office
답답해서
mates.
그런다.
I'm just frustrated. I don't want to see him in a
이런 모습.
wretched state either. Sorry.
미안해.
I understand what you're trying to
이
say.
바다가 그런 곳이었지.
You're right. That's how it's always been. I'll go
이제
look for another way now.
나도
Son,
미안해.
I'm so sorry. I never
일이
thought it would
이렇게
turn out this way.
이봐.
Well,
일이란 것이 진행되려면
would you look at that?
이렇게 절차가
Now
따라야
this is
하는
the
거야.
proper procedure I'm
하나
talking
협회가
about. The Hana Association just elevated the
도시전체적
library from
사건으로
urban
지정했어.
myth to urban legend. That means
말은
our association can now
공식적으로
officially act on this case, right?
그래도
Well, yeah, but we
치바이에서
still don't know
어떻게
Zwei's
움직일지
stance on it
모르는
yet, so don't
거니까.
get your hopes up,
고마워,
alright?
이사도라.
Thank you,
야, 네
Isadora.
덕분이야.
I really owe you
그리고
one.
미안해.
And apologies for laying my
잘못된-
burden on you.
난 그냥
It's nothing.
합당하게
All I did was
보고된
compile
정보들을
information
모아서
following
위로
procedure and send
보고서를
it to the
올렸을
higher-ups.
떼내기들이긴 했지만
There certainly have been
조직 다른
reports that several
사무소들도
under syndicates and
도서관에서
offices fell
당했다는
victim to the
확실한
library,
정보들이
though they were mostly
존재했으니까.
insignificant
그래도
fledglings.
육과의
But it's all thanks to the
정보 처리
masterful
담당인
data analysis by our lovely
이사도라가
Isadora
빠르게
from Section
움직여줘서
6 they could be
처리된
handled so quickly, right? That's my
하는 대로
girl.
생각해.
Fine, believe in whatever you want.
그
Anyway, do you still have the
초대장이라는 건
invitation with you?
협회에서 본격적으로 움직이려는 건가?
Looks like an association's about to make
이제부터
a
좀 달라질
move.
거야.
Things will be different from
사이가
now on.
큰가 봐.
How much of a difference does that make?
지금까지의 손님들이
The guests we've all had so far gave us
호기심만으로
a visit out of casual
앞으로는
interest or
도서관에
curiosity.
확실한
But future
목표를
guests are going to have a
삼고
clear
있다는
goal in mind involving the
어째서?
library. How so?
협회에서 공식적으로
A case officially
선정한
recognized by the
사건은 돈 되는
associations is
일이란
guaranteed to be
거니까.
rewarding, and money
돈
attracts
냄새
an
풍기는
awful
것은
lot of
이제
attention.
좋든 싫든
Scale of our
일이
affairs is only
커지기
going to
시작한
escalate
거라고
from
보는데
here, like it or not.
아직 위험도나 중요도를
Threat level or
높게
importance is
평가하진
still probably on the
않았지만
lower end, we'll
협회에서
nevertheless get
다루는
all sorts of people
일인
trying to
만큼
unravel the
온갖
mysteries of
곳에서
this
이곳을
place,
파헤치려고 할 거야.
as long as the associations have an eye on us.
좋은걸?
I like the
더
sound of
가치가
that.
높은 책들이
I can make more
만들어진다는
valuable
뜻이기도
books out of
하니까.
them. I still have a lot to see and
전부터
learn.
궁금했는데
I've been
말이야.
wondering for a while, but what's stopping you
넌
from
왜-
leaving here?
저주가 걸려 있으니까.
I am under a curse.
깊고도 깊은
A
오랜
deep,
저주가
ancient curse
내 안에 서려
that is what's
있지.
attached to
인간이
me.
아닌 존재는
No being that
이곳에
isn't
이끌어
human
나갈 수
can
없어.
walk out of this
오히려
place.
나도 되갚아주기
Besides, I don't want to
전까지
leave this place
나가고
until I've had my
싶지 않아.
revenge
그래도
either.
아직까지는
It's
나쁘지
not too
않은
bad so
느낌이야.
far. Rather, I've
요즘
actually been
난
quite delighted
지금까지
lately.
살았던 감옥에
It's been full of
비하면
brand new
모든
things,
게
unlike the
새로운
prison that was
것뿐이야.
my past
처음
life.
보는 얼굴.
New faces,
내가
accumulating
가는지.
knowledge, interesting events.
그리고
I like this
흥미로운
abundance of
사람들을
freshness.
가르쳐서 좋아.
I want to know more. I'll
좀
keep
더 알고
learning and
싶어.
learning, and as I learn, I might finally
내가
figure out why I
왜
had to
그런
be
꼴을
subjected to
겪어야만
such
했는지.
torment.
나도 더 분발해야겠네.
Guess I gotta work
네가
harder.
나갈 수
Can't leave you
없다면
here as long as
나도 똑같이
can't
나갈
leave
수
here as
없잖아.
long as you can, you know?
언젠가 여기서 나갈 수 있게 되면
Hey, if we get to leave one day, why don't I take you to a place I
식당을
frequent?
말하는 거야?
You mean a restaurant?
맞아.
Yep, they make some sick meat stew there. One of the secrets of that stew is the giant tin pot they commissioned T-Corp to customize. Boil meat with some water for just 10 seconds of that thing and you get tenderized meat with a rich broth you'd normally only get after 3 straight days of boiling. Creating it taste so rich in such a short time is what makes the restaurant so hot. Only issue is the prices are a bit high. It's been half my last job's payout on a single meal one time. Totally worth it. Oh, right. Are you incapable of eating? Sorry bringing up useless words, ma'am. Plenty of other places you'd love to visit, so I'll make sure to give you a tour through the city, ma'am. I can eat, but I cannot taste the food. I do wish to try dining like you people do if I get a chance, though. In any case, we need to finish the task at hand before anything. And the stew. I'll keep that in mind. Ham, ham, pang, pang, indeed. Anyways, we've got ourselves our first fight of Urban Legend tier, the Zwei crew members. The pages are relatively strong, most notably Retaliate, having a very high dodge count, very high potential max roll for a dodge, and then will boost your die's next value by 3 when you actually win. It's definitely a very powerful card, and the other ones are alright too. Avert's a pretty decent one. Most notably, despite the Zwei Fixer not having a name, they're like the only one of the Zwei, of like the generic Zwei fixtures to be featured on a card. Specifically, they're on the card art of Avert, but we never get to know their name. The other ones are just generic character customization, but this one's seemingly like important. You just never get to properly learn their name or anything. Want to go there when I'm old enough? Oh yeah, for those of you that don't know, there is an actual chain restaurant in if I remember correctly in South Korea called Ham Ham Pang Pang, which is meant to be like the actual restaurant from the series, from the actual series, which I think is really cool. $15 USD, huh? It's actually not too expensive. But anyways, so let's go ahead and start off with commandeering. Unfortunately, both of these guys are targeting Roland, which is going to make things a bit more awkward here. I'm gonna go for deflect again. Well, let's do struggle instead. I'm gonna need the protection for next scene, and we'll set this girl on fire. Ouch. Alright, nice. We'll get urging and give that to Roland, since he did take an unfortunate hit there from the AI all deciding to target him. Alright, so let's see. Man, I am just not getting very lucky so far with my dice rolls tonight, huh? Let's do that. This, and, this. Alright. Damn it. Okay, they're taking a bit of damage, but that's fine. Roland's page isn't necessarily too major if we lose it, since it is just kind of like a completely generic page, so we don't really need to care too much if we lose it. Thankfully, they decided to spread out their attacks this time, so hopefully things should go fine. Let's see. That's the thing. I'm gonna go with let's go with struggle here. And then non-stop assault. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so Roland is staggered. But yeah, I gotta give him scars as well. Gotta go for commandeering again. And I literally can't block any of these. Are you kidding me? Oi. Oh, but he did block one of the instances of an attack, thankfully. Oh, and we were able to stagger one of them. Nice. Oh, nice. Roland got to block 2 attacks there, thanks to Scars. Roland got to block 2 attacks there. That was lucky as hell. God damn. All right, we might actually have a shot here now. Let's go for this. Let's do Overpower, since that's got a decent shot of being more effective than back. And then, let's just hit that one back there with Cooking Prep. Actually, wait. No, wait, I can't. Oh, okay. So I have to clash against this one, so I'll do Non-Stop Assaults. And then for this one, I'll do... Well, they don't even have any bleed on them. I'll do Overpower just to make sure that I actually kill them. Alright, nice. That's one staggered. That's one dead. Oh, nice! And Roland was able to break the evade die. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. Alright. We actually managed to turn this around. Alright, nice. Good shit. That was close. That would have been very dicey if things went south there. And I honestly did think it was going to go south, but it didn't, thankfully. Alright, so we got a bunch of Zwei South Section 6 books. The fixer page is generic, so we are going to need 5 of them. And don't worry, I've got the spreadsheet pulled up. Let's see. Okay, so we do have all 5 of them. Let me just go ahead and update the spreadsheet. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I've been using a spreadsheet to keep track of which key pages I still have and which ones I lost. But yeah, Guardian's a fantastic low-cost key page. Avert's also really good. Your Shield is absolutely fantastic. Retaliate, like I mentioned earlier, is also really good. Just a lot of generally good stuff in this one. However, more importantly, Netsock also has his first reception. So let's go ahead and outfit him with this Zwei Fixer page. Now, the Zwei page is notable because this is actually the first one we have that can restore health. Specifically, well, no, it's not necessarily the first one we have because there are the Butchers, but this one's the first, like, consistent one you can do it with. Specifically, it causes you to recover 1 HP upon winning a clash, which is absolutely fantastic for the early game. Like, this is the good stuff right here. Anyways, let's go ahead and update this deck a bit. Let's do on your shield, one setting fire. Deflect, of course, is always fantastic, and then, I mean, Law and Order is perfectly fine, but I don't really think it would be that useful. I could do Fleet Footsteps, but I do already have Deflect in the deck. I think I'm gonna do Guardian, because that's got some decent rolls on it, and it gives endurance to all allies, which is very nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out our first book on Netsock's floor. Abno, Fragment of the Universe. This little gremlin deals double stagger damage from all sources. We got its first attack, Enlightenment, 4 to 8 pierce, penetrate, 4 to 8 pierce on hit, add Enlightenment to target's hand. I don't want anybody in chat making any lewd jokes about the fact that this thing is using an attack called Penetrate. Okay? Okay. right. However, now we have this in hand. Enlightenment. While in hand, decrease max stagger resist by 50%. So what we do here is we use Enlightenment back against it. That'll cause us to regain some health, thanks to keeping in stride from this Y-Fixer page. And then, yeah. However, the fact that I ended up using that right before it played Echoes from Beyond is a little concerning. But it only hit us once there, so we're fine. Absurd loot joke. Lancer, I specifically told you not to do that. Anyways, we'll hit it with the deflect. Damn it. Rolled an 8 on that. Fuck. Alright, this is gonna hurt a bit. Ooh, yeah. Well, the good news is that this is a... Oh, wait, right, it does no damage because he just put Enlightenment in our hand! Oh, wait, that was Donovan, my bad. Your names are both red, but that was fantastic timing. Because he used that attack right as we got staggered, but because he put Enlightenment in our hand, we didn't take any damage. That was really funny. Congratulations, Fragment of the Universe, you played yourself. Absolute Giga Brain play from Fragment of the Universe here. Just, yes, I will use the attack that they are now staggered. I will use the attack that does 0 damage if they have Enlightenment in their hand, after the attack that staggered them put Enlightenment in their hand. I'm a genius! Damn it. Alright, will he do it again? Are you stupid? What are you doing? Bro, what is your strategy here, my guy? Whatever it is, it ain't working. Absolute genius here. Just keeps doing that same strategy over and over again, hoping it'll work. Somebody needs to tell this fucker the definition of insanity. Anyways, get set on fire, nerd. Yeah! That was so dumb.
아저씨, 바닥에서 자면 입 돌아가.
Sir, you gotta wake up. You're gonna get sick if you sleep on the floor. This smell.
냄새.
This thing rolling on the
바닥에
ground.
굴러다니는 이거 설마?
Don't tell me.
역시 맥주 캔.
Beer can. Where the heck did you get this?
여긴
This is the
도서관이에요.
library, Roland.
가능성의 빛으로 세워진
Constructed from the
도서관.
light of
책만
possibilities.
있으면
Anything's
뭐든
possible as
가능하죠.
long as you've got the book.
특히
Are you sure
제대로
you're
하고 있는
sorting the
거지?
books well?
손님
You seemed
접근은
okay at
나름
receiving guests at least.
분류는 해뒀다고? 바닥에 뭉텅이로 어질러 놓은 게 정리했다고?
Really? You sorted them all?
있는 건가?
Let me see. That's... The books are almost randomly scattered across the floor. I don't think that counts as sorting.
한잔해요.
Here, have a drink. Hey! You got manners at least? Well, let me take a sip if you insist.
여기서 맥주 몰랐는데.
Never guessed I'd get the chance to drink beer in this place. Boy, how I miss the sparkling softness.
좋죠.
Good stuff, eh? Sure is, brother. So, how's work been going?
그럭저럭요.
It's been going.
어떻게든 되긴
somehow.
하네요. 그렇다고
Not that I'm
만족스럽다는
satisfied
건
with it,
아니에요.
though.
어떤 점이 제일
What's your biggest complaint at the moment, then?
내 손으로
That I have to take someone else's life with my hands.
그러지 않고서는
But it's either you or them, ain't it?
그래서 싸우잖아요.
That's why I have to fight.
그래서
And that's what I don't like about it.
앞으로도
I'll probably have to kill
이 손으로
even more
죽이겠죠.
people as time goes by.
아무리 쓰레기 같은 짓을
Doesn't
하는
matter if it's a
사람이라도
saint or the scum of the earth.
살고자 하는
Everyone
마음은
wants to
같은
live all
텐데.
the same.
뭔 말인지는
I'm picking
알겠다.
up what you're putting down.
근데
But
여기
it's
밖으로
no
나가도
different out there,
똑같아.
really. People all hurt
자기가
and kill
다치기
others
싫어서
because they don't want to be
상처 입고
hurt
내가
themselves.
살기 위해서는
Take others' lives so you can
누군가를
keep
죽여야 하는
yours.
거지.
Bit too obvious, maybe? I
밖은
guess that's how
그랬던 것
things
같긴
were in the
하네요.
outside
어디
world.
출신이었어?
Where are you from,
동지?
by the way?
뒷골목?
Nest? The back streets?
짤짤해서 잘 모르겠어.
Don't know. I'm feeling tipsy.
확실한 건
All I remember for sure is that I worked at
로보통에서
Lobotomy Corp.
오.
Must have been a pretty sweet spot working at a
그렇게
megacorp like that.
보이나요?
You really think so?
당연하지.
Duh, of
날개에
course.
입사하면 누구나
People are bound to
부러워하잖아.
envy anybody that
돈도
gets to
많이
join a
주고,
wing.
복지도 좋고.
They give a lot of cash, welfare's
좋아.
nice, and you gain social status
맞아요.
too. Yeah, that's what they always say.
집어치우고
Let's forget about all that and drink some more. Alright, gotta
마실 수
drink
있을
while I
때.
can.
둘 다 정신 나갔네.
You've gotta be fucking kidding me. And that is going to be most of Roland's interactions with Netsock. Both of them getting drunk and talking about their lives. Anyways, we've got our first Adno pages for the floor of art. These ones are mostly oriented around dealing stagger damage. Echoes from Beyond, literally when you grab it, just deals flat stagger damage to enemies and recovers stagger resist. Tentacles on a Pierce attack reduces the stagger resist to the target by 5%, up to 50%. And then Incomprehensible on a one-sided attack inflicts one feeble and a disarm at a 50% chance. Likelihood increases by 10% for each successful attack, 3 times per engagement. Honestly, pretty good stuff. Anyways, let's give Roland the Zwei Fixer key page. Holding myself back from saying something. No, yeah, it definitely does. What those two are saying makes a lot of sense if you've seen the rest of the game. So, trust me, I get it. Anyways, onto Zwei South Section 2. Two. I guess. Zwei 2-2. The thing underneath the tentacles image? Oh, yeah. We have a lineup of the search team. You two are in. San,
다시
Julia. Finally heading back to the library. Yeah, let's go retrieve the books of Mars and Lulu and come back safely. Don't forget, while our main objective has been decided as retrieving the books of Mars and Lulu thanks to the coincidence of interest between San and the Association, we should still try to secure as much information as possible, meaning we should collect as many books as we can. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I know it's a silly question to ask, but why is Zwei, an association specializing in peacekeeping and security, designed to set up a search team of all things to enter the library? Why did you come begging to us in the first place if you knew all that?
그건
That's because this was the only place I could count on. What about your younger
내
brother?
동생은
My brother is... Never
아니다.
mind. Once again, I'm
아무튼
sorry for the trouble,
미안하고
and thanks again for the help. Son.
Anyway,
Anyway, since you're running an affiliate office, I suppose it's okay to tell you this.
악몽급으로 지정된 뒤틀림 현상.
It's the exposition board!
들어본 적은 있지?
The distortion phenomenon, classified as an urban nightmare. I'm sure you've at least heard of it, even if you haven't seen it yourself, right? It's an anomaly that's been happening throughout the city ever since the White Nights and Dark Days. See the end of Lobotomy Corp. For those of you that haven't played through Lobotomy Corp, TLDR. Lobotomy Corp's whole thing was that they were trying to cure the world of its perpetual depression. They did this by harvesting energy from the abnormalities and causing all of the main characters to go through traumatizing character growth. Doing this created a seed of light which then rained light upon the world for 3 days. But then Angela decided to be a bitch and stole the rest of it, plunging the world into eternal darkness for 4 days. And now here we are. Angela used that light to create the library and enslave all of the librarians who are the Sephira and Lobotomy Corporation. And now as a result of Angela stealing the light for the last 4 days, the distortion phenomenon is a thing. Yay! The frequency may be low, but people are turning into monsters at random, and each individual occurrence is a huge pain to deal with. Angela just decided to be a piece of shit. Yep.
알아.
Yeah,
처음
I
발생한
know.
뒤틀림
The
현상은
pianist.
피아니스트로
The first
인해
reported case of this
구구골목
phenomenon.
거주민의
It
파란의
ended up
상황이지.
killing about 80% of District 9's population. Mine is still worse than Angela. Oh no, yeah, definitely. I heard that was so sudden the Hana Association had to dispatch one of the colors immediately after realizing the severity of the situation. Okay, for those of you that are unaware, every fixer in the universe of Lobotomy Corporation and in the Project Moon universe gets a grading from 9 to 1. The lower the grading, the stronger they are. However, certain fixers are graded as higher than like normal graded fixers. When that happens, they are assigned a color. Like, for example, Gebra, aka the Red Mist, Kali, who we met previously in Lobotomy Corporation, was one of those color fixers, and her power in that game should speak for itself. Color fixers are essentially the equivalent of one-man armies, and the associations dispatch color fixers when shits really hit the fan. Yellow and Limbus? Oh yeah, that's true. There's also, in Limbus, isn't there also the, there's like the Azure Fisherman or whatever, who was on the boat in Ishmael's chapter. He was a color fixer too. I think he was. I don't know, maybe I'm like, let's see. Oh wait, have you not cleared that chapter? Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I could have sworn that there was a character involved in that the Indigo Elder. That's it. Yeah, I assume he's a color fixer, given the fact that he's specifically called a color. But no, yeah, he's one of the characters involved in that part of the story, and it's the Indigo Elder. Yeah, it's never really stated outright if he's a color. No, wait, his occupation does on the wiki does list him as a color fixer. Huh. So then, yeah, the Indigo Elder also counts, but he's out there hunting whales. Also, hi Z.
맞아.
That's right.
아직까지
Yeah, we still don't have any
뒤틀림이
clues to track down
발생하는 원인에
the
대한
cause of this
마땅한
phenomenon.
단서도 없어.
Also, if I remember correctly, 80% of, if I remember correctly, like 80% of District 9's population is around like 300,000 people, which is quite a lot.
단서라 해봤자
The most we have is the sudden
엘사였던
disappearance of
로보토미사의
L Corp and the
증발과
White Knights and Dark
그곳의
Days,
존재를
whose starting
기점으로
point was in the
발생한
corporation's
그런데
nest.
치바이에서 판단하기를
So I suspect that the library may be one of the keys to understanding the distortion phenomenon. Coworker told me a similar story. A coworker told me a similar story. Said a resident in the area they were peacekeeping was suddenly distorted and turned into a four-legged beast, even though there weren't any signs of danger or anomaly nearby. Thankfully, they managed to take care of that creature before the death toll could hit 2 digits. Also heard there was a restaurant clerk that turned into a man-eating sandwich monster? Something like that one time. Think I understand now. So the distortion phenomenon is a clear and apparent threat to Zwei's peacekeeping activities, and they expect the library to hold a clue for resolving it. You got that right. Fortunately, there haven't been any cases of the phenomenon that's nearly as devastating as the pianist so far. Looks like the Zwei is going to keep an eye out for the library for a while, though there are several other suspects they need to investigate as well, so we won't be getting any high-grade
이
fixers.
정도 지원이면 충분해.
This is more than enough help.
고마워.
Thanks, Isadora.
몇 번이고
I said I'm just doing my job. It's not like I'm doing you a favor or anything. Baka. Sure you are. You have my thanks as well,
준비하자.
Isadora. Let's get to it.
정말 그런 거야?
Is that really true? What
저
is?
녀석들이 말한
The
건
things they
말이야.
said about the library.
대기야,
This place really all
흑주와
connected to
엘사,
stuff like the White Knights and
그리고
Dark Days,
뒤틀림.
L-Corp, and the distortion phenomenon?
솔직히 난 이곳이
I'm frankly not even sure where we are in the city, though.
그렇다면
What if I said it is?
그렇다면
If you said it is, I'm not sure I get what you
대기야
mean.
흑주처럼
It's extremely rare for an incident to encompass the city like what the White Knights and Dark Days did.
날개가 혼자 자폭하는
There have
건
been some
몇 번
cases of
있었어도
wings falling apart on their own, but those only affected their own nests
엘사는
at most.
달랐어.
L-Corp was something else entirely.
일주일은
It's like the whole city fell asleep for a week.
백야 흑주와 도서관이 관련이
Let's say that the
있다고 했어.
library really is
뭐가
related
달라지는데?
to the White Knights and Dark Days. What does that change?
그래.
Nothing,
뭐가 됐든
I
내가
guess.
할 일이 달라지거나
My work
하지
is still going to be the same.
이곳이
So this is the library. The transportation method is almost like a singularity. Yeah, the director of the library will come soon to greet us. Angela, was it?
환영합니다, 손님.
Greetings, dear guests.
전
I
도서관의
am Angela,
관장이자
the
사장
director and librarian of my
앵젤라입니다.
role's
이미 알고
namesake.
계신 것 같지만
Though it appears
말이죠.
that you already know who I am.
우리는
We're here to take back the books of Mars and
네.
Lulu. They are
이곳은
here indeed.
도서관에서
We can get the books we
원하는
want
책을
or die and
얻거나.
turn into books ourselves, right?
네, 그렇습니다.
That is correct.
초대장에
As it
적혀
is
있는
written on
것처럼
the
벽 보고
invitation.
이야기하는 것
It's like I'm
같아.
talking to a wall.
마치
She's so
기립되게.
robotic.
당신의
May you
책을
find
찾으실
your
수
book
있기를.
in this place. Angela does not take too kindly to being called a robot, even though that's what she is. Anyways, let us begin. Starting off with more of the regular Zweimuks shouldn't be too difficult. We were able to dispatch them last time, however, it is slightly concerning. Let's see. Now, hopefully, if the enemies decide not to be assholes with their turn ordering, we should be just fine. All right, let's see. Let's start off with Commandeer, with Commandering. Taste My Flaming Bat should be good for this one, though I could always go for the Guaranteed for Setfire. No, I'll do that. And then for you, let's do another Commandeering. We want to try to get off as much damage as possible as we can early on. Ooh, nice. Flaming Bat was able to like completely mitigate that attack. Good shit. Let's give Pale Hands to Isabel here. And we'll just have her go ham. Let's do Flaming Bats. We can easily get that with Deflect, and then afterwards we've got the Guaranteed Paralysis, which is nice. And then that is a 3 cost, so let's hit it with Commandeering as well. We just want to try to keep the protection up as much as possible. Alright, let's see. Okay, that one's a 2 to 4. That one shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. We'll have you use... Okay, you use Set Fire against the Sharp Swipe because that's guaranteed to do some damage. Roland can use Commandeering again. And you can go for Overpower. Ouch. We did get some damage back on her though, which is good. Nice. Nice! Alright, one of them staggered. Good stuff. I'd say Pulsation is honestly our best bet here. As much damage as that is going to do, it is going to help us help boost our strength during every scene's end. So it's probably our best option in terms of just like getting raw damage on the board. Nice! Good shit. Nice! Good shit. However, that is going to stick us in an unfortunate situation like this, where some of our characters are guaranteed to take damage. Because of how, unfortunately, the effect works, if all of the characters die, then the other 2 are forced to take the pulsation damage, which is kind of shit, but hey. You gotta do what you gotta do for solid damage. Anyway, we've got San, Julia, and a Zweifixer now. Julia has Zwei Swordsmanship, which is +1 slash damage, and San is Calmness. On win, boost the max value of the next die by 3 to 25% chance. He's also got Handling Work, which is a really fantastic 2 cost. Like, in terms of raw damage, it's really good. Just due to, like, the consistent boosts that it's able to give you. Actually, this is fine. Yeah, we're fine here. Alright, let's go with Retaliate, so that could potentially roll higher. Commandeering. And, Overpower is the best option for that one. Nice. Ow. Yeah, Roland has the most defensive dice, so we should probably give that to him. I'm not going to do Fervent Beats because that will kill somebody, potentially, and I don't want to take that risk. However, the enemy's rolling that high is concerning. We'll do Commandeering. Commandeering on you as well, and then fend this off. Wait, but I swore I intercept. What the? Alright then. Weird. Or no, wait, right, I didn't intercept that. Joy, brain dumb. Alright, we got 2 of them staggered, which is good. Let's see. I'll have Roland intercept this. You go for Commandeering on him and set fire on that one. I just want to try to get as many of the enemies out of the picture as possible. God damn it. Okay, well actually Roland getting staggered there isn't too bad considering we have 2 other characters that can intercept the attack. So honestly, things should be fine from here. Okay, she isn't going for Roland, thankfully, so we don't have to worry about potentially getting an attack intercepted and eating shit. I forget, can Pulsation... I forget if Pulsation can kill. Well, even if it does, Roland's using a generic page right now, so I don't really have to worry about it. Woo! Cutting it a bit close there. Cutting it just a little bit fucking close.
도서관은 백야 흑주가
The library is located in the source of the White Nights and Dark Days. I touched up the headquarters of Elcorp, the center of it, for my own use. I have no comment to make on the distortion phenomenon that apparently started occurring afterwards. I have little to no information about that phenomenon either, though I do have a guess. Well, that came out of nowhere. You were curious about it earlier, weren't you? I was created as a mechanical secretary to assist the manager of Phlebotomy Corporation. I was designed to look like a human, feel emotions, and make evaluations and judgments based on those emotions. It's as you suspected. I was born in secret, violating the AI ethics amendment. Never got to make my own judgment. Funnily enough, I had to read the same script over and over for 1,000,000 years, all for the success of a single project. The play never seemed to end. The play that never seemed to end finally concluded one day, and the White Nights and Dark Days happened as a result. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know who came up with that insane plan, but thanks to them, the distortion phenomenon started wreaking havoc on the city at random intervals. Ordinary people would turn to monsters all of a sudden, and they'd kill everything in sight. The first ever case of distortion, boy, that was a hellscape. Happened without any oncoming sign in the district that everyone believed to be relatively safe. The massacre was a work of art, too. It was named The Pianist for a reason. What more could I say? Anyway, thanks for telling me all that. Must have been a sensitive topic to you. You aren't as shocked as I expected. The monsters created from the distortion did give off a surprisingly similar vibe to this library and its caretakers. Must have gone through a whole lot of distress in your life. Anyway, what comes next is the problem. What can we do to lure this light here? You can use this book. I tried writing down the relationship between Elcorp and the distortion phenomenon. Should be quite valuable to them under the circumstances. We have now acquired a new book. The Book of Lobotomy Corporation. Or, well, rather, the Book of Distortion. So, we now have something that will entice potential visitors to this library. Like, specifically the people that are interested in the distortion phenomenon, by showing them that, hey, we've got this shit that actually might be helpful in telling you what the fuck's going on out there. So, come get it. We got 4, I think if I remember correctly, the blue ones give us 4 copies at max, but we got all of Julia's and 1 of Sans. That's pretty good. $200 stacks of Burn Boss would make you suffer, probably. Yeah, the blue ones give you 4 copies. So we got all of Julia's and 3 of San's. That's pretty good. Speaking of which, I'd say I'd hazard to bet we could upgrade our key pages at this point. I'll save Roland's current bookshelf, empty his, and replace him with Julia, since a guaranteed slash damage boost is very helpful. I'm usually of the opinion that a guaranteed boost is more often better than something that happens at a chance. Like, sure, having a really big boost to my dice, like a really big potential boost to my dice is nice. But if it only ever happens at like a 25% chance, it's not exactly the most useful. That being said, however, it is better than what we currently have, specifically with regards to tie-ins page, so I may as well fit him out. Our 1 copy of Deflect. 2 Taste by Flaming Bats. 2 Set Fire. This card is like absolutely fantastic for the early game. Handling Work, of course, as I just mentioned previously. The card's really good. And yeah. Now let's swap these new key pages over to Malkuth's floor as we go and take on Malkuth's second abnormality. That being the Book of the Happy Teddy Bear. Oh god. Okay, this one's a bit fucky. So, Affection. Reduce the cost of nostalgic embraces of the old days by 1 after engaging in a clash. Nostalgic Embrace of the Old Days is a fucked up card that will do a fuck ton of damage. So we need to avoid that at all costs. That being said, it's quite difficult to do so, given how powerful the thing is. It also has guaranteed 10 speed, so you are forced to clash with it using the librarian that he attacks. However, we can use that to our advantage. In a case like this where he is only doing 1 attack, we can just pass, he'll do 1 damage, and then that's it. You have to keep in mind that defensive dice are retained. So you do need to be careful, seeing as if he goes for that defensive dice, that is going to hit you for a fair amount of damage. The only time you should really engage this thing willingly in combat is during display of affection. And when that happens, you just gotta fucking pile on the damage. Because when that happens, that is like one of your only chances to deal like any at all damage to this fucking bear. Thankfully, we were able to get it. I thought that was going to be someone's death, but thankfully we were able to suppress the teddy bear before things got out of hand. Got a ton of books for you, Malkuth. By the way, I told you before that this is my 3rd life, right? Oh yeah, you've been thinking about your previous lives? By the way, I heard from Angela this place is related to Lobotomy Corporation somehow. Is that really true? It's not just related somehow. I was an AI in charge of the control team in Lobotomy Corporation. AI? As an artificial intelligence? Hold on a sec. You're an AI? Just like Angela. Sorry, my wording was a little off. I wasn't a real AI. I was a human whose brain was restored for a second chance, if anything. Sheesh, I was worried for a second. This place violated the AI Ethics Amendment even more than just 1 time. Head could come burn this place to the ground at any moment if that were the case. You mean the institution that manages the city? Yep, that head. They usually like to stay awful quiet, but when they do have work, they're scarily thorough and quick about it. Or so I've heard, you know.
천연덕스러우시네요.
You're so casual, aren't you?
전
I thought we were
나름
having a serious
진지하다.
conversation
미안.
here.
워낙
Oh,
이런저런 일을
sorry.
겪다 보니
I've gone through all
머릿속이
kinds of stuff, so
우선순위가
my
좀 바뀌어서.
priorities tend to be a bit unusual.
그렇다고 말고
It's not like I was trying to ignore what you were saying or anything, Malkuth, so I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. You have a rather unique personality,
이렇게
Roland.
생각하는 것도
It was all part of my survival
나는 좀
strategy.
그렇고.
Anyway,
로봇
back to your
검사의
past.
지휘
You
부서를
said you used to be the
맡고
boss of the control team back in Lobotomy Corp, right?
맞아요.
That's
제가
right.
이래봬도
And I'm in charge of
역사를
history here,
담당하고
as you can see.
그래서 제
So I started out by
역사부터
tracing
다시
back my own
거두었어요.
history. Very,
아주 천천히
very slowly.
들어주실래요?
Would you like to have a listen?
너무 길고
Not a fan of
복잡한
long and
이런
convoluted
분위기에선
stories. Hey, don't be such a
당연히
mood
들어줘야
killer. You're
하는 거
supposed to
그걸
agree
알면서 왜
here.
물어?
Well, why bother
그냥
asking
말해.
if you're just going to tell me the story anyway?
그렇네요.
You know what? You got me
전
there.
결함이 있는지
Anyways, I was ordered to work in Lobotomy Corp as the head of the control team, bearing all my flaws. I was given a role to play as soon as I woke up, not realizing who I truly was. With my heart still aching from the unresolved pain and regret from my past almost about to burst. Just like that, I kept doing inhumane acts for Lobotomy Corp. I didn't even question what I was doing since it was all just a work me. I feel like it felt like a calling even. The only thing guiding me was a vague feeling that something went wrong because I didn't try hard enough. My twisted sense of effort pushed many people into peril. I forced others into following my selfish standards like a fretful child.
상당히 골치
Must have been
아팠겠구만.
rough for you,
영문도
being
모르고
told to
일을
work
하라고
like that
했으니.
without knowing what you were getting
로봇홈에서
into.
일하다 보니
Did your memories
과거의
naturally
기억이
come back after
돌아오기라도
working in
한 거야?
Lobotomy Corp for a while,
돌아왔다고
or
해야 할까요?
it's more like it'd be correct to
자연히
say I was
떠올랐어.
reminded of
지금이
them.
세 번째 삶이라면
My life with Lobotomy Corp was
로보토미아
actually my
그리고
second. When my
로보토미아에서
emotions finally
일하던
erupted while working there, I
제
could remember my
안에
first
내가
life.
저지른 실수와
All the
잘못.
mistakes and faults I made, and the
왜
regret.
제가 노력에만
I could understand why I had been
집착하는지
so obsessed with trying
알았어.
hard.
누군가에게
Turns out what I
인정받고
really
싶고
wanted was
내가 이만큼
recognition.
노력하니까
Look,
나는
I'm trying so
잘못했다.
hard. I'm a useful person. I
전
never knew how to stand up without leaning on
누구
someone
그렇게
else.
제 안에 응어리를 쏟고 나서야
That is what led her
풀릴 수
to
있었죠.
ingest a batch of not quite ready encephalion. Or not quite ready cogito. Which then proceeded to kill her. Rather painfully. So, yeah.
두 번째 삶에서 첫 번째 삶에
I found
구원을
redemption for my
받은
first
거예요.
life during my second life.
그러니까
Alright, so
잘못을
let me get
저질러서
this straight.
죽었고
You did something
그게
wrong,
굉장히
which you
후회스러웠는데
regretted so much, and then
어쩌다
died.
부활해서 일을 하다 보니
Somehow
그
came
응어리가
back to life
풀렸다?
and got another job. And the big lump of regret in your heart eventually got resolved in a shocking turn of events.
간단하게 말하자면
I guess that's one way to put it.
잠깐
Hold on
다
for a
그럴 수 있다고
moment.
쳐. 도시는
Let's say that
도시니까.
everything else makes sense, since it's the city we're
근데
talking
누가
about.
널 되살린 거야?
But who
그냥
revived
단순히
you?
깨달음을 얻게
And for
하려고.
what reason? Just to give you that
그럴
enlightenment?
거예요.
Maybe. So that I can
제가
let out all my
꼭
resentment and
제가
sorrow. That I can
구원받을
find
수 있도록
redemption.
말이죠.
입은 삐뚤어졌어도
Don't delude yourself,
말은 똑바로
Malkuth.
해야
아 깜짝이야.
Whoa, jeez!
뭐야?
Scared me
갑자기
for a sec.
튀어나오고.
Were you listening to all
너를
this?
구원하기 위해서가
Your
아니야.
salvation was never in his
그
interests.
사람은
He only did it
자기만이
as a means to
구원받기
find his
위해서
own
그 짓을 한
redemption.
거지. 넌
I wasn't the
나한테
one
이용
using
그
you.
사람의 자기
It was
만족을 위해
him. He
너희들이
used
이용당한
all of
거지.
you just to satisfy himself. I can't bear to hear any more of this nonsense. Angela.
이만 잠들어줘야 할 것 같아.
So, okay, we are now seeing what happened at the end of Lobotomy Corporation. Three of the bottom three floors of the bottom three floors of the library, these revelations are basically going to be like recapping what happened at the very end of Lobotomy Corporation. So, these are all of the Sephra from the end of LobCorp. They're robots. Well, rather human brains and robot bodies, but still. We've got Malkuth, Yesod, Chesed looking high as fuck back there. All the not Chesed, fucking, that's Chesed. Brain dump. Anyways, we got Yesod, we got Netsock back there looking high as fuck. We got Chesed, we got Gebra with a very big sword. And we got Hakba. It's very convenient that they printed their names on their bodies. Gebra do be holding mimicry. It do indeed be holding mimicry. So, I need you all to fall
왜
asleep.
그런 표정이야?
What's with those faces? Angela, they aren't capable of
너희가
making
그토록
faces.
원하던 휴식일
It's the
텐데.
rest you all longed
그렇게
for.
들었어요.
We can't let you do that. We worked so hard to make this happen. Worked hard. How funny. Would you really call what you've done hard work? We're not gonna sit still and let you take away our light.
우리의 빛이라고?
Our light? You're not the boss, and I'd never listen to you even if you were.
그래.
Of
넌
course you
잘난 그
won't.
사람을 따르고 있는
You're still
것이겠지.
loyal to that man.
사라지도록 두지
I won't
않겠어.
let you rob me of the meaning I finally
역시
found.
내
No
편은
one is
하나도
by
없네.
my side as I expected. Do not feel so lonesome now. I shall stand by your side if no one else will. Damn it, Bina! Even in the end, you're... This must be yet another consequence of his actions. I simply acknowledge all events as valid.
내가 눈물을 흘릴 수 있는 몸이
I would have shed a
있다면
tear of gratitude for you if I could. Feel free to act upon your wishes. Angela, a machine consumed by desires. You cannot take this
되고
path.
안 되고는
I decide what I can or can't do now.
언제까지?
You can't cling to Lobotomy Corporation forever.
네가
Aren't you interested in learning more about
어떻게
yourself or
살고
living your own
내
life?
삶은
My life
인류를
was to save
구원하기
humanity.
위해서. 그래서
That's why I could willingly
기꺼이
sacrifice
목숨을
my
바칠 수
life.
있었던
It was
거야.
for a greater cause.
바보같게 짝이 없어.
What a bunch of idiots.
또 한 번 폭풍이
Seems like another storm swept
첫
by.
번째 삶과
I
두
gave away my
번째
two
삶 모두
previous lives trying to
사람들을
save
구하기
people, and I'm
위해
willing to do it
바쳤어.
again for a third
우리는
time.
인류를 위해.
We withstood all those hardships and trials for the sake of humanity.
우리가 바보
Do we
같아요?
look like idiots to you too, Roland?
나야 자세한
Well, it's not like I
속사정을 알지
know enough of the
못하니까
details.
인류의
Don't get the
구원이니
whole
뭐니 해도
saving humanity thing
말
either.
끝에 네가 진심으로
But
그걸
if that's what you
원했다면
sincerely hope
내가
for,
무슨
who
말을
am I to
당연히
judge?
진심이죠.
Of course I'm sincere.
가주세요.
Please leave me be for a bit.
잠시 생각할
I need
시간이.
some time to
그래 보이네.
think. Alright,
숨 좀
you
돌리고
do look like
있으라고.
you need some rest. Remember, deep breaths, okay?
그리고
Oh,
다음엔
you don't have
괜히
to be too
존댓말 쓰지
courteous
말고
with me when we talk.
편하게 말해도 돼.
Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah. Anyways, now we have all of the pages of the teddy bear, otherwise known as the thing that will snap your neck if you hug it more than once. Back in Lobotomy Corporation, this thing's whole mechanic was that if a employee worked with it this abnormality twice in a row, they would be immediately killed because it would hug them so hard it would snap their neck. Here, the pages are used for clash boosts. Nostalgic embrace of the old days. Upon winning a clash, deal bonus stagger damage equal to the dice's value at a 20% chance. Clashing against the same target multiple times increase the likelihood. Opinion on trains? I mean, I enjoy trains. I honestly thought that the train to hell or whatever that abnormality was in Lobotomy Corporation wasn't really that bad to deal with. Considering I was already looking around all the time as it was, so... Plus it was like a full heal for my department, so I was happy with it. I mean, I could definitely see why someone would hate it. Hell, I got put in like the worst possible situation where I got the train put right next to fucking Schadenfreude, the abnormality that you can't look at while you're working with it. So, you know, it is what it is. This is this and that is that. Had to maneuver my camera around the fucking thing. Anyways. There's Happy Memories. The combat page with the highest cost in hand is chosen. Using pages with the same name decrease the cost of every copy of that page the character currently owns by 1. This potentially makes our 3-cost pages into 0-cost pages, which is very nice. And then there's Display of Affection. All dice gain 1 to 2 power in a clash, but lose 1 to 2 power in a one-sided attack. Very good for your tank character. In addition, Malkuth now has a 3rd librarian. But we are going to give Lulu's page. Anyways, now that we have these 3 in a pretty good scenario, I don't really feel an explicit need to come back for another one of San's pages. Like, I feel like we've been doing just fine, so... Now, let's go ahead and tackle Zwei South Section 6, Part 3.
그렇습니다, 부장님.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid San and Julia couldn't make it back. Requesting additional support.
이사도라. 자네가
Isadora,
생각하기에는
what do you think the purpose of the library is?
지금까지의 정보에 따라
From the information we've
말씀드리자면
gathered so far, it's the accumulation of knowledge.
지식의 축적이다.
Accumulation of knowledge, you say.
도서관은 거래를 제시할
The library
뿐입니다.
simply offers a deal. It has no influence on the outside world, and only rewards or punishes those who have entered.
승자는 원하는
The winner can
책을
get the
얻고
books they want, and the loser becomes the book that the library wants.
뒤틀림 현상과의
Any linkage to the
관계성은
distortion
뒤틀린
phenomenon?
거는
That is unclear,
모르겠습니다.
sir.
하지만 어렴풋이
But my
느껴지는
instincts suggest that it has to be related to the
반드시
phenomenon
관련이-
somehow. And why is
도서관의
that?
초대장,
The invitation to the library,
그리고
its books,
그곳에
and the being
사서라
called
불리는
librarians
존재들.
that reside there. All
도서관이
elements of the
지니고 있는
library are
모든
similar to what we've
요소가
seen from the
그 어떤
distortion.
방법으로도
The common
성분,
feature is that it's
구성
impossible
요소
to
관측이
observe them
불가능하다는
from an
공통점도
analysis of their
있습니다.
constituents or components.
관측이 되지 않기
We
때문에
can't carry out a
비교분석이 안
comparative
되지만
analysis because of this,
오히려
but the inability to
관측이 안
observe
된다는
itself can be
공통점이
considered a
있습니다.
common trait.
자네답지 않게
It's not
막무가내
like you to make such baseless claims, is it?
위6과에서는
Section 6 will not needlessly obsess over the library. There's simply too much uncertainty for us to recklessly jump into the case. That's why Association gets hundreds of requests every day. A fair number of them are allocated to us in Section 6.
그것들을 무시하고
I'm sure you
도서관에만
understand that your claims are not
매달리기에는
compelling enough to make us all give up these requests in favor of the
알고
library.
있습니다.
I am aware,
알고
sir. And yet
있음에도
here you are, requesting
도서관
additional
조사 인력
manpower for
보강을
investigating the
그렇다면
library.
자네는
You
뒤틀림과의
sure you aren't
확실한
simply using the
접점을
alleged linkage to
빌미로
the distortion as excuse to get your
복수를
revenge on the library or retrieve the books of your colleagues?
지금 순간에도 사육제 같은 조직은 버젓이 대낮에 사람들의 내장을 씹어먹고
Even as we speak, syndicates like the Carnival are chewing up people's guts out in the open. And the likes of the musicians of Bremen are making modern art pieces out of innocent
게다가
citizens.
이것보다 더한
And there are yet
미친놈들이
more
도시에
insane
흐르고
individuals looming over the city, no?
있어. 우리는
And
그런
our duty is to
도시의
protect our
어둠으로부터
clients from such shade in the
의뢰자를
city,
지켜줘야 하는
is it
것이다.
not?
알고
You're right, sir.
시바이의
Remember the
경고가
slogan
무엇이다.
of our association.
당신의 방패
Your shield, sir.
우리는 의뢰자의
Exactly.
방패가
Our role is to
되어줘야
be a trusty shield for our
방패를
client.
스스로 내리지
So don't put down that
말아라.
shield without good reason. Got it.
나가보게.
You may leave now.
예,
Will do. Isadora?
예,
Yes?
서랍 속에
Did you
있는
happen
이
to put this
초대장.
invitation in my drawer?
아니요.
No,
아직
sir.
새로운
I haven't
초대장은
received any new
없습니다.
invitations yet.
도서관의 위험도는 현재
What is the
어떻지?
current risk level of the library?
아직은 도시
It's currently
전설이지만
resting at the urban
새로운
legend
보고가
class, but it's been
갱신될
slowly
때마다
rising with every new
그런
report.
건가?
I see.
뒤틀림의
The
책이야.
Book of
이런
Distortion,
식으로
is it?
악물고는
They've been
배기지
using
못할
irresistible bait
미끼를
like this to
던져놓고.
attract their victims, haven't they?
덕분에 일이 수월해졌어.
And it
뒤틀림에
seems
대한
to have
책은
worked!
지금까지 누구에게도 못 구했었잖아.
What's wrong with Roblox stream? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to make it like a jokey point redeem thing. No, there's nothing especially wrong with it. In fact, I've seen it there are like a few Library of Ruina themed / related games on Roblox. Specifically, I remember seeing like an anime fighter style one that had the Black Silence as a usable character. Illusions has the best LR references? Interesting. Things went rather smoothly thanks to your book. It's not something we could get from any of the guests
지금
we've had so
상황에서
far.
필요한 것을
I
제공해줬을
simply
뿐이야.
offered them what they needed at most at
나는
the moment.
누구보다 상황을
I'm better than
파악하고
anyone at
괜찮은
understanding the
우선
situation at hand and coming up with an
그
appropriate response.
말대로입니다.
Precisely, ma'am. You sure did
어떻게
come up with the perfect
막혔었는데.
solution to lure out this why.
책을 바로
Heck, if we
만들어낼
could
수
print out books right
있으셨다니.
away, wouldn't it be
그냥
nicer to just make a
전부
whole lot of them
왕창
ourselves?
내가 알고 있는 것에 대해서만 책을 펴낼 수 있어.
I can only write
다시
books about the
펴내려면
things I
시간이
know.
필요하고.
I need more time to write another one
그런
too.
거고.
Oh, I see.
종종 부탁해도 되는
So
거야?
can I ask for your publications from
내
time to
일을
time
도와주는
then?
것이니
I'm willing to
협력은
cooperate
해줄게.
since you're doing your job as my
너무
assistant.
귀찮게는 굴지 마.
Just don't pester me too much.
네.
Sure thing, ma'am.
제가
Your servant such as I wouldn't dare
엔젤라님의
commit such
도와드리는
atrocity as bothering our
엔젤라님께서
mistress Angela.
잘
Oh
풀릴
no.
것 같아?
Do you think this will work out well?
시바이의 부장 정도면
Director of a
마음
section in
단계로
an
충분해.
association like this Y should be more than enough as our next step. The information he holds has got to be on a whole nother level from what we've collected so far.
현장도
It's been
오랜만이고
quite a while since I worked in the
자네도
field.
그렇지 않은가?
You haven't had any field work in a while too, no?
네, 그렇습니다.
You're right, sir.
이번 건이
If we can
무사히
get this case
처리된
resolved, we can finally get out of
국가를
Section
더 이상
6.
수준 떨어지는
Nice to finally be
조직들과
collecting
뒤엉키지
information about the
않고
distortion directly from the source instead of having to get my
뒤틀림에 대한
hands dirty
정보를
engaging
얻을
with
수
the lowly
있어서 나도
syndicates.
자네도
Neither of us should
언제까지도
rot in Section
육과에서
6 for the rest of our
서비스만
lives, wouldn't you agree? Yes.
동료의 복수도
We can have revenge for your colleagues and get a lead on the distortion phenomenon and aim for a higher position all at the same time. How fascinating is that?
이상하리만큼
Everything seems to fall into
모든
place
게
too conveniently.
환영합니다, 손님.
Greetings, dear guests.
전 이곳
I am the.
자네가
You must be Angela,
도서관의
director
관장이셨어.
librarian of Roll's namesake,
네.
right? Indeed.
들옵니다.
It's just as you
호구로
said.
듣긴 했지만 자네는 정말 인간이
I've seen
아닌
reports about you,
기계인가?
but is it true that you're a machine, not a human?
이런
My.
대답을 안
Staying
해도
quiet won't
냄새가
hide it,
난다.
girl. A machine must behave as a
이렇게나
machine.
일을 벌여두다니.
You've made quite a huge deal out of your little
도시
library.
안에서
It's
인간이
rather
아닌
troublesome
것들이
to
이
have a
정도로
non-human
말썽을
like you
피우는
cause a fuss this big, you know?
월터 과장님,
Sir, I don't think we should provoke her any further. May you
당신의 책을
find your
찾으
book in this place. Anyways, we got another fight again. This one starting out with more generic Zwymooks. Oh, Black Silence, the Light Mechanic, and Stagger Mechanic. Ah, that's probably the one that I've been seeing. Burr, burr, burr. Also, now we get to hear more of the jazzy theme of Malkuth's floor. I am rather a fan of it. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Let's do Nostalgic Embrace and let's give it to Malkuth since she has the most solid like 3 cost of course as soon as I give it to Malkuth she rolls a fucking 2. God damn it. Malkuth, why? I just gave you that ability. You go and roll a 2. Why do you have to do me like this? Malkuth, why you gotta do me like this, girl? Anyways, Ashley's gonna take a bit more damage. It's not too big of a deal. Nice. Okay. Ashley took a bit of damage, but that's fine. Let's go for Retaliate again. Counter this with a Commandeering. And you just bonk him on the head with the big stick. Nice! Alright, perfect. That's one of the Zwymooks down. Nice! Beautiful! Good shit! We'll take Matchlight for her. And then we could just quick slot for the last attack. There's nothing really we have to be too concerned about. Alrighty, everybody's up to level 3 for the final encounter. Mercury, Manifest, Red Mist, Serum, W, R, and K, Black Silence, Wrangle Workshop, Solomon. Nice. Alright, so we've got Walter, our second page that has a speed dice slot, and notably a blue page, meaning that we can get it quite a bit, which is good, so that means we can have more speed dice. We have Isidora's page, which comes with slash damage plus 1, or slash stagger damage plus 1, rather than slash damage plus 1. And then just a generic Zwymook. Alright, let's do this. Now this is going to be a slightly concerning encounter, considering that we don't have any key pages with a second speed dice because I lost ours like a fucking idiot. So this could be a bit dicey. But hopefully, as long as we just beat the fuck out of the generic mook first, then hopefully by the time it rolls around to the actually important shit, we won't have to worry about it. Copium. Let's go. If we just beat the shit out of the generic Mook, then hopefully we won't have to worry about the dice disadvantage for too long. Wow, the game is really making me take footfalls. All right, this is a problem. So if somebody gets below 30% health, they're going to turn into a fucking suicide bomb, which is just, you know, wonderful. Probably wasn't exactly my best play to take Malkuth's floor, considering that fact, but ah well. We're here now! Nothing to it but to do it! Nice. Okay, he's staggered. Now's our chance. Just pile on the damage. Bonk. Damn it. Okay, Walter's down. That's our biggest problem on this floor. Done and dusted. Hopefully, we should be able to handle the rest of this. Bop. Alright, nice. Perfect! Good shit! That's one of our biggest potential problems done and dusted. Good stuff. We have now gained a second book, the Book of Lobotomy Corporation. We also have a fuck ton of Zwei South Section 6 books. 3 of Walter's. Well, no wait, actually we have, we've got 4 of Walter's, 3 of Isidora's. That's pretty good.
기계답다는 건 뭐야?
What does it mean to behave as a machine?
그
Boy,
주제인가?
not that topic again. Someone I used to know loved to say that phrase.
감정과 지성을 지닌
Like I told you
기계는
before,
더 이상 만들어질
making
수
machines
없어.
without emotion, making
설사
machines with
만들어졌다
emotions
해도
or sapience is
윤리적인
forbidden.
함의는 머리에 의해 진작에 끝났지.
Even if one were to be made, the head has long settled the ethical implications and all that.
감정을 지닌
That means they've
기계는
decided on a
인간과
solid
다를
answer for a
것이
long-standing
무엇인가?
question. How is a machine with
이
emotions
질문에 대한
different from a
답이
human?
감정과
Their
지성을
answer
지녔다
being, even if a
해도
machine carries
인간과
emotions and
다를 것
intelligence,
같다
is
해도
nearly identical to a
기계는
human in
태어난
every
것은
aspect,
기계다.
it is still a machine
기계는
by
언제나
birth.
인간 아래에
Machines
있어야
should
한다.
always be below humans.
그러므로 가치
Therefore,
판단을
it is now
혼란시키는
forbidden to
지성을
create
가진
sapient
기계는
machines as they can
앞으로
disrupt the
제조하는
proper
것이
judgment of
금지된다.
societal values.
또한 지성을 가진
Furthermore, all
기계는
existing
누구의
sapient machines may be
소유물이라
subject to
하더라도
termination regardless of ownership.
기계는
In
기계고
short, machines are
인간은
machines,
인간이다.
and humans are humans.
기계는
Machines exist solely to
인간을
serve
위해
humans,
존재한다라는 거지.
is what they're saying. So basically, racism. Machines are second-class citizens and are banned from the city.
도시의 사람들은 그렇게 생각하기로 결정했어.
But remember, brain-holding claptrap robots are perfectly fine, because that is a human brain in there, and it is thus human at its core. Therefore, it's allowed. Angela, however, would not be. That's just the way it is.
고철덩이에 인간 뇌를
Where would
처박는
human brains stuffed in heaps of scrap metal belong? Exactly!
어쨌든 그건
Those would
인간이야.
still technically count as
지각에
humans.
따라선
Some might
오염됐다고
consider them
판단하기도 하지만
defiled, and others might look down on them, but the brains themselves are natural. You get what I'm saying?
누군가의 뇌의
What about an
구조를
electronic
잠재적으로
copy of a
복사해서
human
만드는
brain?
그건 기계야.
That would be a machine, since it's not born human. To be frank, I don't really get these standards either. Guess birthright matters to them at most. Maybe it's a defensive reaction born out of the urge to preserve humanity as a species.
불공평하네.
That's unfair.
공평한 게 어디 있겠어?
Nothing is ever fair in this world.
그래.
You're right.
다들
It seems
저마다의
everyone lives
불공평함을
with the share of
떠안고
unfairness they
살았다.
must bear. Now you're talking like a city dweller. Now you're talking like a city liver. Alrighty, first up we got 3 books of Walter. Oh, and 3 books of Isidora. I must have missed one. And of course we also have more Zwei South Section book. 6 books. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Library of Ruina book unboxing. Today we're going to be burning 3 books of Walter, 3 books of Isidora, and 14 books of Zwei South Section 6. Oh boy, I hope I get some key pages. God, that was so bad. That is my punishment for making such a god-awful fucking joke. God damn it, now we gotta do that fight again. I mean, we don't necessarily have to. I could go do Yesod's stuff, but I feel like I should go and get Walter's page first. Yeah, I feel like I should go and get Walter's page first, so we gotta go back in. Let's see, how is yeah, these two have the same stats, just one does slash stagger damage instead of slash damage. Any better cards we can put in here? I might have gotten. I don't think so. Well, combat prep is good. I think I might put combat prep on Malkuth since I have her running as the tank right now. Back in we go. Nice. My main tank has once again rolled a 1. This is big sad. Bonk. We'll just set up Malkuth with the full tank build here. Might as well. Just give her all the tanking pages. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, trust. Okay, we're not all at level 3 for this, which is somewhat concerning, but we should be fine. Let's see. Let's do this. Nice. Nice! Good stuff. Ouch. Alright, Malka's still fine. We're still good. However, we do have to be somewhat careful because we are getting close to the threshold where our librarians will turn into thermonuclear bombs. Thanks to just the floor itself. Nice! Alright, that's Walter down. Nice, and she's staggered. Like, excellent. That's everybody major dealt with. Upon approaching them, so does that mean that as long as that librarian doesn't do anything, they'll be fine? Like, theoretically, as long as London doesn't interact with anybody, they won't explode. God damn it. For fuck's sake! What did I just say? Well, we're probably going to end up losing a key page here in the first instance of this effect that I've ever seen. Or not. I guess the health threshold wasn't low enough. I have no clue how that fucking key page works, man, and I don't want to find out. Because finding out would involve somebody blowing up. I don't want to make my life like a fucking Arby's commercial. All of our food keeps blowing up! I'm not going to treat my librarians like something like fucking Arby's food. Arby's food is replaceable. The librarians aren't. Okay, nice. We don't need to do the fight again. We have all 3 of Walter's pages and all 4 of Isidora's pages. Good stuff. Anyways, now we can set up Walter's page properly. This is going to be our proper tank build. Because Walter's key page not only has the speed dice, but it also has your shield, which is a guaranteed +1 boost to defensive dice, which can be very good. So because of this, we're going to build Walter with what else but defensive dice. Keep in mind, it specifically says defensive dice, which means that it also counts dodge dice. Because those are defensive dice. It doesn't specifically say block or evade, it just says defensive. So it should count for those as well, which is very nice. Anyways, if I remember correctly, the next major enemy that we're going to be fighting, I'm gonna do something a bit interesting here. I'm gonna set up 2 different Walter builds, because the game doesn't stop you from using more than one of a key page. This other one I'm gonna set up as a slightly more offensive build. Stuff like Taste My Flaming Bats. Struggle's absolutely fantastic because of the +1 of defensive dice. then we'll do Set Fire and Strong Strike. Because if I remember correctly, the current abnormality that Yesod has to deal with is going to be a pain in the butt. However, fortunately, if we do both of the Walter pages, these guys are resistant to slash damage, which, yep, it's exactly the one that I thought it was. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the all-around helper. These things are fucked. On use, gain 4 strength and 1 endurance next scene. This one, however, is only using 2 2/2 dices, so because of that, we're going to take heavy advantage and beat the fuck out of the last one. We are going to take advantage of it and just beat the fuck out of the last one all the way in the corner over there. Because fuck him. But anyways, these things have repetitive pattern recognition. Restore 1 light after dealing 10 or more damage in a single scene. So because of that, you don't want to let them deal a bunch of damage. If they deal a bunch of damage, you're fucked. We don't really have many... Well, actually, she's got blunt cards, so I'm going to give her metallic ringing. But yeah, after the rest turn, they get strengthened, which is very concerning. And then also shit like clean. We're going to counter this because we have struggle, which is a very good defensive dice. I mean, I could do retaliate, but I'm not gonna risk it. I just want to try and take out this one, like this one back here. All right, so that's one of them down. But yeah, you just want to try to tank these guys as much as possible. Because now that that's done, they've been paralyzed. And they're now going to use the rest card, meaning that we can just beat the fuck out of them. Which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to beat the fuck out of them. Bonk. Bonk. Dink. Bonk. Dink. Bonk. 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 And now we've got just this last one here, which still has 2 bound and paralyzed. However, this thing's roll is going to be a guaranteed 6, which is a bit fucky, but we should be fine. Yeah, see, we're fine. He had higher speed, so went before it and staggered it. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy peasy.
책 배달이요. 이번엔 들어오기 전에 옷도 다
Your book
들어왔지.
delivery is here. Tied to my clothes in advance this time too. Oh,
엔젤라의
greetings,
캐시.
Angela's lapdog.
참 아직도
Come
괜히
on, still
뭐냐.
at it with
당신이
that.
가져다 준 책들은
The books you brought
흥미로웠습니다.
me last time were interesting, to say the
뒷골목의
least.
기술은
I learned that
헝겊과
the
같이
technologies
난잡하게
employed in the
얽혀있던
back streets were interwoven in a disorderly
쓰레기 더미를
manner.
이용한
From
조잡한
crude equipment made of
장비부터
junk to clothes woven
만물질을
from
사용한
antimatter,
의상까지.
all kinds of technologies at
기술의
various
정도가
levels of
앞뒤를
advancement
가리지
can be
않고
seen.
기술은 참여하지만
There's cutting-edge
그
tech out
혜택을
there, but
받을
only
수
a
있는
few get to
것은
benefit
소수지.
from it.
자본에 따라
I
나뉘는
assume
것이겠죠.
wealth is the determining factor.
돈이 있는 자는
We're in
그
an era
어떤
where rich
질병에도
people
죽지
don't have the
않을 수
money,
있는 시대야.
don't have to worry about any
치료제가
disease.
다양해진
We have all
것은
sorts of
물론이고,
cures now too.
뭐
Granted, you have the cash to buy them.
특이점이라는
And we have people
신호를
playing
타는 기술도
God with those
생기고
technologies called singularities.
로보토미의 특이점은
What was Lobotomy
뭐였나?
Corp's singularity anyway?
어차피 회사
The corp's
망한 거
gone now, so
튀기만
no one's gonna sue us for spilling the
뻔뻔하게도
beans.
모르시는군요.
Aren't you shameless?
어차피
I suppose it
당신에게는
wouldn't hurt to
말해도
tell
참
you.
은근히
Hey, stop treating me
개성무지하네.
like an idiot. I'm not
나도
that
그렇게
stupid,
멍청해.
you know?
로보토미의 특이점은
Lobotomy
인간의
Corporation's singularity was the ability to physically manifest the
물리적으로
human
발현시키는
mind,
겁니다.
an abstract
도서관도 같은
concept.
맥락으로 인간의 감정을
Converting
물리적인
human
힘으로
emotions
발현시키고
into physical energy in the same vein as the
쉽게 말해,
library.
인간의
Human emotions
감정을
can be
덩어리라고
interpreted
보는
as a complex
감정이
mass.
고조하면
That mass is
책장을
built
골라
through
최종적으로
experiences. When
즉,
emotions are heightened
자아를
enough, a
만드는
page will
것.
be chosen, a spot reserved for a person's book. It is a comprehensive manifestation of
전투가
their
치열하고
ego.
감정이
As the battle becomes
격해질수록
fiercer and combatants get
자아는
agitated, the
점점
egos will
강렬해지고
grow intense and allow their
마음의
mental
상태가
states to be physically
마음이
expressed.
물리적으로 발현한다.
Physically manifesting the mind, huh?
뒤틀림하고 냄새가
Certainly seems
비슷해.
similar to
뭐라고
distortion.
하셨습니까?
What'd you just say?
아니야,
Oh,
그게
nothing.
좋은
Just a
잔말이지.
bit of monologue. Anyway, that sure sounds like a singularity, alright. Impressive indeed. Makes me wonder. Malcolm said you guys were part of a project that aimed to save humanity, right?
그렇습니다.
That is true. What kind of saving was that all about, really? Make money rain from the sky or something? I'd save everyone for
그런
sure.
값싸는 방법이
It can't be
아닙니다.
compared to such ridiculous
그리고
nonsense.
당신이
You have no
그렇게
right to talk so
가볍게 입에
lightly about the
담아들을
sacrifices we made.
진정해,
Whoa, alright, calm down
여기서
now.
뭔 말을
Sheesh,
못하겠네.
can't even crack a joke around
우리는
here.
마음을 치료하고자
We sought to
했습니다.
cure the mind. Carmen was the leader of our
이끌었던
research
카르멘은
team. She said every person in the city had a diseased mind, and that the disease was so severe humanity would slowly lead itself to self-destruction at this rate. She described the situation as no better than lemmings willingly jumping into a pit of fire. What? She smells like a shady cult leader, according to my fixing tingling fixer senses. Everyone agreed to what she said just like that. And now you're taking me for a fool. Of course, there are quantitative indices to scientifically prove her claim. Suppose it would be useless to describe them to you in detail. Okay, egghead, setting that aside, do you guys really succeed with that goal of saving humanity? You never cease to annoy me. If we succeeded, we wouldn't be here doing this. Oh yeah. Fair point. The fact we failed to save humanity is not what makes me upset the most. We have committed countless sins, all in the name of a single righteous purpose, saving humanity. We convinced ourselves that we had no other choice. We performed unethical experiments and knowingly drove employees to death in Lobotomy Corporation. We tolerated all those vile deeds for a greater good. But all of that is about to be for naught. What will be made of their sacrifices? All the pain me and my colleagues endured. Angela ruined it all! Fatigued already? What a shame. My employees and I are up for more. Don't be ridiculous. I'll kill you for sure this time! Bina, not even you will manage to break through our combined effort. You raise a valid concern. It is true. Even I cannot stop all of you in such a short time. We will need to act quickly, Angela. I was just about to do something about it. There it is! You know when you hear the second trumpet, shit's about to go down! Ah, shucks. The Clyfoth's deterrence is being lowered. She's overriding my authority on the system. The abnormalities are breaching. All Sephiroth and personnel, please follow my lead. The control team will be in command now. Hawkman and the architecture team, please stop Angela from taking over all the systems. Understood. Gebra and the disciplinary team, please keep Bina at bay. You bet. Leave this to me. Han and the training team, provide the employees with the right manual and information. Attention all employees, this is the Type X emergency protocol. Please act accordingly to the following instructions. Netzak and the safety team, please focus on treating the wounded. Alright, I'll try to take care of them as quickly as I can. Yesod and the information team, please identify the weaknesses of the escaping abnormalities right away. I will analyze them all with the utmost precision. Chesed and the welfare team, please work on restoring the Clyfoth deterrence as soon as possible. Will do. This is my fault after all. No time to feel guilty, Chesed. Tippereth and the Central Command team, please support everyone with your resourcefulness. I was gonna, no need to say it. It brings me joy to see you all act in such coordination. Now, try and stop us till the end. You'll never understand how we desperately struggled to stop her from snuffing out our light, and the guilt we feel from compromising at the
그래,
end.
난 모르지.
You're right.
그저 엔젤라를 도울 뿐이야.
All I care about is helping
난 그
Angela.
녀석의 목적을
I
이룰
want
수
her
있다면
to
그
achieve her
과정이
goal, you know?
어떻든
You simply want the results, whatever the process may entail. You're no different from Angela in that you only care about your own well-being. They're despicable.
마음의
A
병을
typical
앓고
example of
있는
an
전형적인
inhabitant
도시
of the
사람은
city suffering from the disease of the
도시의
mind.
기술이 어떤
You
희생
use the
위에
technologies the
만들어졌는지
city has to
신경도
offer
쓰지
for your
않은 채
immediate convenience,
당장의
not knowing or
편의를 위해
caring about
그저
the
기술을
sacrifices those
사용하죠.
technologies were
그것이
built
자멸을
upon,
부르는지도 모르고만
not knowing that you're bringing about your own
너희가 부르는
demise.
마음의 병이
Oh, so that's what this whole diseased mind thing was about.
결과보단 과정을
I should value the
중시한다고
process more than the result.
몽상가의 샌님들
You're a bunch of
칭찬을.
dreamers and snobs all
그나마나 넌
along.
둥지
Bet you're from one of the
출신이겠어.
nests.
기술과
Look,
특이점의 대가가
I know better than
무엇인지는
anyone about the
내가
price of those
누구보다
technologies and
뼈저리게 잘 알아. 그리고 너희가
singularities.
말하는 그 마음의 병.
Back from last time? Welcome back. Diseased mind,
특이점이
my
어떤
ass.
원리나 대가를
You're pointing
사용하는지
about people
모른
using
채
singularities
기술의
without knowing how they
팁은
really
그러고
work.
싶어서가
That's because
아니라
they literally
그럴
have
수밖에
no other
없는 거야.
option.
기업은 감추고
The
소비자는
corporates have
질문하기를
concealed so much
포기했어.
that consumers eventually gave up inquiring
지쳤거든.
because they're
당장 내 삶이
tired.
팍팍하기 때문에.
They're already too busy sustaining their everyday
역시
life. It
당신과는
appears
말이
that I'm
통하지
not getting
않다.
through to you. Oh, what a coincidence.
마침 나도
I was thinking
그렇게
the same
당신이 뭐라
thing.
해도
No matter what you
저는
say, I do not want to
그래야
turn a
한다는
blind eye to this
눈 감고
reality,
있기만
nor
하는
conform to it. Great talk, Yesod. Great talk, Yesod. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, now we got a bunch of abnormality pages based on the Reddit blob. We have Recharge. Single ally. If Librarian has maximum light at the start of the scene, gain 1 to 2 haste and deal plus 2 to 7 damage with attacks for that scene. Repetitive pattern recognition. After every 3 clash wins, restore 1 light and gain 1 to 2 haste next scene. And Clean. Offensive dice gain power against enemies with slower speed, plus 1 power per point of difference, up to 3. Very good. Very useful. Good stuff. Good stuff all around. Now, first of all, we've got some generic invitations to take care of. So, first things first. By putting in, if I remember correctly, we can do, yeah, if we just throw in a Zwei South Section 6 book, we'll call up some ordinary grade 8 fixers. These are just mostly like general damage increasing key pages. They've got some very generic abilities, but most notably, Loosen Up is a really good card. It's a 1 to 6 damage that 0 cost that restores 1 light on hit, essentially making you go plus 2 in light for that turn. Very useful. Dink, bonk, dink, dink, bonk. Okay, the dodge on the back attack kind of screwed us over there, but that's fine. Let's do repetitive pattern recognition for Yesod. And that's good, because he's got like a fuck ton of attacks to intercept here, which is really nice. Go. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Go. Okay. Nice. Oh, and that's the repetitive pattern recognition kicking in there. Alright. Bonk. And that's that. Good stuff. Got a bunch of, we got some books of grade 8 fixers and Backstreet's fixer volumes. Keep in mind that we aren't going to need this for any reception, so we can just burn them as much as we'd like. Grade 8 fixer page 1 is slash stagger damage +1, while grade 8 fixer page 3 is pierce damage +1. And we also got Loosen Up, which, as I mentioned previously, fantastic card for this early in the game. Blunt damage on hit, restore light. Can't get much better than that. Anyways, now, as you notice, the road splits. From here, now that we've cleared through the Zwei Association, things aren't going to be as simple as they were previously. We now have multiple branching routes with multiple different encounters. So, let's go ahead and go for the one on the right. Well, actually, first, I should update my decks. Actually, wait, I think there's another... No, wait, yeah, that's right. There is another generic invitation we can do. If we do the grade 8 fixer and Zwei South Section 6, we can encounter ourselves a group of ordinary grade 7 fixers. Even though this one's page technically says they're a grade 8 fixer. But anyways, these ones have stagger damage +2 for their attacks. Very nice. No additional speed dice on them, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Nice. Off to a good start. Ding. Alright, good stuff so far. Nice. Good stuff. You can probably see at this point why I'm going with Yesod's floor for this part. Repetitive pattern recognition combined with this page that has like the increased defense dice makes for a very powerful combo that can block a lot of attacks and get some solid damage off too. Especially when used in combination with our more offensive build over here. It still also has the same the same kind of defensive dice setup, but also with some more blunt damage capabilities. I would have used that build on Mars's page, but I lost it like an idiot, so we're just gonna have to use it this way. Plus, since this deck is pretty much almost entirely blunt damage, that also works well with Metallic Ringing, because it inflicts bind and paralysis upon dealing successful blunt damage. And that's one bind and paralysis per blunt damage attack, which means that the enemies are going to be very legally blind for a very long while during these combat encounters. I cannot see, I'm legally blind! God, I just fucking dated myself with that reference. I just hardcore dated myself with that reference. Anyways, down they go. Curtain call for the reception of the Grade 7 Fixers. We now have books of a Grade 7 Fixer. And a Backstreets Fixer volume... I think that's 4. Yeah, volume 4. I can't read. I suck at Roman numerals. Anyways. Nice. Good stuff. Alright, if we can change Noah's around slightly, because now that we have the Grade 7 Fixer page, we can do this one. Because additional Pierce stagger damage is very nice. In addition, it also doesn't have any major weaknesses or anything, which is also very nice. Yeah, we should play to this one's strength. Since it's strong with Pierce damage, we should use a lot of Pierce cards with it. So that means we're going to put in 3 copies of Cooking Prep, 3 copies of... Right, that's right, we did get that new card. What was it again? Oh yeah, we did get that new card Cut In, so it seems pretty good. And then, of course, for the last one, 3 copies of Retaliate. Alright, that being said, off we go to the right.
누님, T사에서도 온 연락 받았죠?
Big sis, you've seen the message from T-Corp, right?
어?
Huh?
왔었나?
When do we get that? Oh, bugger, I'm about to vom.
어제 같은 골목 출신들끼리
She threw a
만나서
huge drinking party with her friends from the same corner of the back streets
가게
last
하나
night.
전세 내고
They occupied the whole
마셨다고
pub
하더라.
and got wasted all night, I heard.
또 얼마나 마신
Just
거예요?
how much did you drink this time?
레이.
Oi, Rain, my head's still ringing from the hangover, so keep the lecture for later, yeah? Maybe in an hour or
게다가
so.
뭐예요? 이 영수증 내용.
And what's this? This receipt
사무소
says
돈으로
you
결제까지
used our
하셨네.
office funds to pay for it, too. Thank you for utilizing Warp services, as always. The next train departing Warp is train UW212. All passengers, please check your pass and make sure you are in the correct carriage for travel. And remember, watch for it. Warn us. We'll all be
곧
good.
우리 차례네.
Seems it's our turn now. I always feel ill and out of sorts when I board Warp's
제발
trains.
저번처럼 진상만
Just
부리지
don't make an
마세요.
ass of yourself like last
그나저나
time.
이번 의뢰는
Anyway,
의뢰네요.
this request is rather
알사로부터 온
unexpected. One from R-Corp of all
알사에서 직접
places.
맡길 정도면
Isn't it something
엄청
dangerous if
위험한 거
R-Corp
아니에요?
has to request another party to do
우리
the
같은
job?
어중간한
Might just
사무소를
be using a
그냥
no-name
찔러버릴
office like
용도로
us as
쓰는
bait
것
to test the
같은데.
water before they do it
의뢰
themselves.
담당자 이름
Say,
뭐라고
who's the client for the
적혔냐?
request?
팀 대장?
Captain the Rabbit Team herself?
너희들이 보기엔
You kids
내가
might be
아무 생각
thinking I'm
없이
just an
행동한 것
easygoing
같지?
drunkard, but every action of mine is calculated,
저러시네.
see? Here she goes
바로 그
again.
묘라는
That
녀석이
Mio lass is an
어제
old
나와
maid
같이
of mine.
술잔을
I drank with her just
그럼
yesterday. You
묘가
mean...
꿀좀 빨 수
Said
있는
she's
일을
got an easy
주겠다고
job
하고.
for me. Says all I gotta do is give her a small cut of the
그래서 그렇게
rewards.
당당했던 거네요.
No wonder you were so proud about going out for a drink.
기분 좋아.
I was in a rather good mood, so I let her dine like a king and paid for it all with the office
미호라는
card.
친구분은
Is Mio a trustworthy person?
성격이
She acts like a
지랄나서
hot-headed
속은
lass, but she's actually pretty
괜찮은
nice
친구야.
deep inside once you get to know
이번
her.
일도 이상한
I
거면
swear down
평생
I'll
저주할
curse you for the
거예요.
rest of my life if it turns out to be some weird nonsense again. All passengers, please board warp train UW212. It's very nice to be on vacation after so long. This is our first time taking a warp ride. Is everything gonna be okay?
당신도 참 걱정
You're such a
많아.
worrywart, darling. So many
얼마나
people
많은
use warp
사람들이
every
warp을
day. I heard there were several accidents when they were first starting out.
걱정되면
You can just
그냥
stay
내
by
앞에
my
딱
side and keep your
달라붙어서
eyes closed if you're so
눈 꼭
worried,
감고
silly.
있어.
Oh boy, what kind and sweet and totally normal passengers, Mary and Tommy. Two little lovebirds taking a warp train for the first time. I'm sure nothing horrific and agonizing will happen to them in the near future. Nothing at all. Everything is going to be just fine. Anyways, okay,
그냥 딱
I'll stick fast to you and hold on tight.
나 열차 안에서 토해도
Take care of the mess if I
알아서
happen to
처리해라,
vomit on the carriage, Rain.
제발 좀.
Big sis, please. Attention, all passengers, please fasten your seatbelts.
이제
We're
출발.
departing
매번
now.
탈 때마다 듣는
Oh, I've always
생각인데
wondered, what's the point of these seatbelts?
형식상이겠죠. 없는
Courtesy,
것보단
I
나을 수 있고.
suppose. Who knows, might actually be better than nothing. We'll be initiating the warp in 10 minutes.
애기처럼 딱 달라붙어 있기는.
Oh, you're clinging on to me like a
혹시
baby.
모르잖아.
Well, you never know.
출발하고 10초만 있으면
We'll be there in just
바로 딱
10 seconds after
도착이라니까?
the train starts.
그래도
But you're
귀여우니까
cute, so
봐줄게.
I'll let you be.
저 지랄한
Why do we have to
녀석들이
sit
왜
right
우리
behind
바로
those
앞서서
two lousy
다
lovebirds?
들리겠어요.
Shut it, they'll hear us. Please do not open the doors while the train is in warp.
눈좀 붙이자니까
I'll be taking a nap.
도착하면
Wake me
깨워.
up when we're there.
그래봤자 10분도
It's going
안
to take
걸릴
less than
텐데요.
10 minutes
아,
anyway.
몰라.
Whatever.
누님.
Big sis,
눈 좀
big
떠보세요.
sis, wake up.
아, 이거 또 뭔데?
Hell, what is it this time?
뭔가 잘못된
Something
것
seems to have
같아요.
gone wrong.
출발한
It's
지
been
한
an
시간이
hour
넘었는데
since we departed, but the
도착하지
train still
않고
hasn't arrived at its stop.
어떻게 된 거야, 메어리?
What's happening, Mary?
워프
You said we'd be
시작하면-
there in just 10 seconds. That's
원래는 10초 만에
strange.
딱
It
도착하는데
shouldn't take any longer than that. 6 hours in.
뭐야? 우리 똥 밟은
Bollocks,
거야?
did we get unlucky or what?
워프는 최근
Warp
10년간
hasn't had any
무서워했는데
accidents in the
말이죠.
last 10 years, though.
이대로 공간에
We might end
갇히게
up
될
getting
수도
trapped
있긴 한데요.
here.
여차하면 힘으로
We're breaking
뚫고
through that
나갈
door if
거야.
anything goes wrong.
정신 나간
You're
소리예요.
insane! The warning said you'll get sucked down into space if we try to open the doors while it's in warp. 17 hours in.
정신이 나갈 것
I'm gonna lose my mind! Where are we? I can't even take off this seatbelt!
토미,
Tommy, everything will be fine soon enough. I'm sorry.
미안해.
It's my fault for
내가
asking to
그
take a warp
열차
train.
상태를 봐서는
The train
아직
seems to be
가동중-
operating still.
너네
Oh,
연장
take out
꺼내.
your tools now. We're
이
cutting off
열차는
this bloody
안전벨트 잘라낼
seatbelt.
거야.
31 hours in.
아, 미치겠네.
Bloody
300
hell,
여기
this
갇혀
is
있는데
driving me
아무것도
nuts.
없는 거야?
300 poor souls are trapped in here and they do fuck all about it.
열차 분위기가 심상치 않아요.
The atmosphere is
다들
getting
묘하게
eerie.
감정적이고.
Everyone seems more sensitive than
웃긴
usual.
건
What's
31
funnier
시간이
is that
지났는데
I'm not feeling any
전혀 목이
thirst or
마르거나
hunger, even though we
배가
haven't
고프지
had
않다는 거야.
anything to eat in the last 31 hours. Won't even leave a dent on this bloody door.
흠집조차.
정말 꼼짝없이
Guess we
갇혔네요.
really are trapped.
방법이
I don't see a
없어요.
way out.
그냥
All we can do is
다른
wait.
사람들도
Looks like the others are
좀
slowly
맛이
losing their
같아.
minds too.
야,
Oi,
우리 도박하면
how about a
뜬금없이
gamble?
무슨 소리예요?
What do you mean a gamble?
이거
I'm
싸우자는
saying
말이야.
maybe we use this. An
초대장이네요.
invitation?
묘한테서 받은
It's the stuff
물건이야.
I got from Mio.
지금 쓰게 될
Never
줄은.
thought I'd
여기
use it
펜이요.
now.
저도
Here's my
어떻게든
pen. I'd
이곳에서
do anything to
벗어나고
get out of this
싶거든요.
train too.
워프 고장이라니.
A malfunction with a
세간에
warp train?
알려지면
It's gonna be a
W
huge
사이트에서는
blow to
큰
W Corp's
곤란해지겠네.
reputation if it ever gets out to the public.
원래는 10초 만에 도착해야
It's
했던
supposed to
거지?
arrive at the destination in only 10 seconds,
맞아.
right? Yep.
W 사이
Warp
특이점으로
trains operating with
만들어진
W
워프
Corp
열차는
singularity. You
아무리
can get to
멀리
any
있는
station in 10
정거장이라도
seconds
10초
flat, no
안에
matter how far
도착하거든.
away they are. The
그런데
30-second
30초도
delay would be a
아니고
big enough issue
30
already.
시간이나
A
넘게
30-hour
연장되는
delay? That's gonna be
신문적이지.
outright fatal to the corporation's trust.
특이점도 고장 날 수 있는
Even a
거겠지.
singularity can malfunction, it seems.
역시 완벽한 기술은
Guess no
없다는
technology is ever really flawless.
그나저나
Anyway,
설마 했던
I might
녀석을
be able to have an
곧
unexpected
만나게 될지도
reunion soon
모르겠어.
저
enough.
사무소에 아는
You have any
녀석이라도
familiar
있어?
faces in that
아니.
office? No.
그럼
You mean
토끼
Mio, the captain of the
팀장이라는데?
rabbit team,
맞아.
then? Yes.
아,
Huh. So you had connections with one of the captains from our corps? That Olga person, knowing her is surprising enough, but you have some impressive networking finesse
다시
too.
만나게 되면
Though we probably
서로
won't be
좋은
greeting
꼴은
each
못
other
볼
with
것 같지만
smiles when we do meet
뭐야,
again.
사이가 좋은
Well,
게
you weren't
아니었어?
friends with her? Yeah, you know what? Guess it makes more sense
뭘
this way.
기대한 거야?
What did you expect? You really think I would have any friends to
웃으며
casually chat
혹시나
with?
했어?
I was just
알사
wondering.
녀석들은
Our corps different from
해결사와
fixers on a
본질적으로
fundamental
하는
level.
일은 해결사와
Their work might
비슷해
seem
보여도
similar to what fixers
일의
do, but they
처리
take on
규모와
things on a
마음가짐이
much larger
확연히
scale with a
다르지.
much more professional
나에게 좀
mentality.
화나면 그
I
정도는
expect no less from
되어줘야지.
one of the wings.
여유만만이시네.
Aren't you relaxed?
이거야말로
Yeah, now this is
강할
teleportation.
더블 서치기 점보다
Much faster and much
빠르고
better than W
확실하구만.
Corp's idiotic singularity.
이렇게
Are
얼렁뚱땅
you really sure we can
밀쳐내도
proceed so
되는 거예요?
carelessly? You said you got that
초대장은
invitation
알사에서
from our
미카,
corps.
이 녀석
Mika,
입 좀
shut
봐.
him for a bit. Think I'm gonna vom right here if I near another peep out of him.
이미 하는 말 중에 틀린 말은 없네요.
Rain is speaking the truth, though. Maybe we should have been more cautious.
예,
Sure,
예,
sure.
저런
No one's on my
내
side.
상황
It's all
판단
thanks to my
능력
quick judgment that we
덕분에
could
그
escape from that
망할
buggered
열차에서
train.
탈출할 수 있었-
환영합니다.
Greetings, dear guests.
저도
Good to see you
반가워요.
too, Lassie.
죄송합니다. 저희가
I
지금 경험이
apologize.
없어서요.
We're in a bit of confusion right
이분
now, and she's
술도
hungover as well. I understand. I do have experience dealing with
이 대체
drunkards.
상황이 어떻게
Hey, you know what the
돌아가는지
hell was going on back there?
당신들이
All I know is
도서관에
that you are a
초대된
guest
손님이란
invited to the
것밖에
library, I'm
모르겠네요.
afraid.
묘한
Ah,
곳에서 전해
she's
들은
a bit
것보다
nicer than what Mio told me.
혹시 아는
Do you
사람이
know
우리가
her?
받은 일은
You see,
엘사와
we were
도서관의
supposed to dig
관계를
into
좀
the relationship
파악해보려는
between L Corp
일이었거든.
and the library. That's what Mio asked us
그래서
to do.
저에 대해서
I
아시는군요.
see. So that's how you know
그리고
about
이거
me.
사람 아니다?
You know what's funny, lads? We're talking to a machine, not a person.
괜히 속 긁지 말고
Let's not anger her
초대장에
now.
적힌
We'll just
것들만
take the books
챙기고
listed on the
돌아가죠.
invitation and leave,
좀
okay?
물어보자.
Let's be blunt,
도서관과
Lassie.
엘사가
You know what the
무슨
relationship
관계인지
you know what relationship the library has to L Corp, don't
묘가
you?
그러는데
Neo says the fact that you're in the
네가
library is
도서관에 있다는
indisputable
것은
evidence this place
무조건
related to L
엘사와
Corp
관련이
somehow or
있을
another.
책으로 확인해 보시는
I'm
것이
sure you can find the answer to that in the
확실하겠죠?
books you seek.
죄송합니다.
We're
입장하도록
terribly
할게요.
sorry. We'll be going in now.
당신의 책을
May you find your book
찾으실
in
수
this place. Anyways, these gremlins here have some very interesting decks. This is the discard deck. The main mechanic of this being that they have cards like Daring Decision, a really powerful 3-cost, but it discards all the pages in your hand. Seems like a pretty risky option, right? Not exactly. We have cards like Stay Calm, which allow you to draw a page upon discarding it. Upon discarding it. And that can combo with a card like Gamble, which discards the lowest cost page. Stay Calm is a 1-cost. In addition, all of their abilities have an effect that activates when you either have a low hand or discard a page. We have Margin. At the end of each scene, restore 1 light and draw 1 page if the hand is empty. In times like these, if 3 or fewer pages are in hand at the end of the scene, gain 1 strength next scene. And Best Choice. Recover 3 HP when the character discards a page. This is the beginning of the discard builds, something that are very powerful in this game. Provided you're able to use them correctly, of course. Anyways, we now have to deal with the consequences of the consequences of their actions. That being, Daring Decision can fucking hurt. We gotta try to play this shit as safe as possible, otherwise we are going to be fucked. Case in point there. However, because of that, now this turn, Olga should be functioning on much, yeah, she only has, the only pages she has are slice, which is relatively easy to block, due to the fact that she used all of her pages last turn. Actually, I'm gonna do this instead. Let's block this. Do a generic attack on Olga. Now let's see. Yes, you go ahead and use Retaliate on that. And you go ahead and use retaliate on that. Nice! Yeah, retaliate is really good. Like, dodge dice in general are just really good against cards like that have like very low rolls. Also, I like how she was doing literally fucking 0 damage there. Nice. But yeah, dodge dice are fantastic against cards like that use very low rolls. But yeah. Olga here is basically top decking at this point. Just kind of like drawing off the top of the deck and hoping for the best. Bonk. Bonk. Okay, that did a bit of damage. All right, nice. We're looking pretty good so far. All right, so Yesad's got an additional. Yeah, Yesad's got additional haste this scene, so he's able to do all the major clashing and everything. We can do this so that way Daring Decision gets canceled out because Yesad's got faster speed. And with any luck, Olga should get staggered here. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. Alright, rain's down, nice. We almost staggered Mika, got some strong strikes off on her, which is good. Let's give Yesod clean since he's got like a high chance of rolling some decent, he's got a good chance of rolling some decently high values. And then let's just all pile in on the girl. So that way we can make sure that we kill Olga last so we can get the most copies of her book possible. Because Olga's key page is going to be absolutely integral going forward. Like, we are going to need that shit. Because now their emotion level is up to 3, meaning that we're going to get 100% chance of 4 copies of Olga's book, which is fantastic. But yeah, from here we just kind of beat the shit out of Olga. There's nothing too fancy going on here. We're just kind of pummeling her. There we go. Any guesses on why R-Corp cares about this place? L-Corp was a major client of R-Corp and it disappeared into thin air, so it's natural for them to want to look into it. A major client of R-Corp, huh? Guess that makes sense. L-Corp's nests weren't really special in terms of military power. Must have been an important client for R-Corp if they were asked to protect a whole nest. It was a mutual relationship too. L-Corp was supplying all the energy that R-Corp needed, and W-Corp depended on L-Corp's energy supply as well. 3 wings in coalition with one another, huh? So much for trickle-down economics.
나한테 불평을 해도 소용은 없어. 난 하라는 대로 했을 뿐이니까.
Thanks, Reagan. Trickle down. For the last time, Ronald Reagan, trickle down economics doesn't work! No, he's complaining to me. I was simply following my orders. Yeah, employees gotta do whatever the boss tells them to, whether it's the wings or the back streets. Anyways, let's go ahead and burn these. We've got 3 copies of Mika's book, 3 copies of Rain's book, 3 copies of Olga's book, and 1 book of the Mueller Office, which we are not going to burn. We did not get her page, damn it. We got a bunch of Mika's pages, none of hers. Although we did get some copies of Gamble at least, so that's good. Anyways, time to go back in to fight the Muller office again. Because like I said, that legendary key page is going to be a surprise tool that will help us later. Nice. Yes, I'm out here with that good shit. Ow. Ow. Let's go for Metallic Rain first. Wait Up is also a really fantastic card. It doesn't do as much damage as the blunt version of the card that we got earlier, but it is still a very good option for like going plus on light. Nice. All right, nice. Olga staggered. But staggered, not stagger, not staggered. I'm pretty tattered right now if I can't even say words properly. Beautiful. Dodge, dodge, dodge. All right, that's rain down. Yeah, Olga's fight can be surprisingly easy or surprisingly brutal depending on what she starts off with. Like, if she starts off with that full discard ability, you might be in a very tough spot for the rest of the fight. But if she starts off with the weak shit like she did here, it's fucking easy peasy. Like, it literally just all depends on what she gets on that first draw. All right, nice. Alright. 4 books of Mika to burn, 4 books of Rain, and 3 books of Olga. I hope and pray that this gets us the last of the key pages we need. Please! Thank you. Alright, nice. Perfect. So now we can swap out... yeah, let's swap out Noah's page so that way everybody has the 2 speed dice. Anyways, for Olga's page, the setup you want to run with is relatively simple. Triple Daring Decision, Triple Gamble, and Triple Fierce Onslaught. With the other Molar Office characters, you are going to want to use cards like Stay Calm. However, with Olga's, if we don't discard our entire hand, then Margin won't activate. So because of that, we want to dump our entire hand so we can use cards like Daring Decision and Fierce Onslaught without having to worry. Like that's just the entire deck. Just dump your whole hand. And then you could also set up a good one for Rain's page as well, due to the fact that he's got in times like these. So I'm actually going to do that real quick with Roland. Raiden's version of the page is relatively simple. Or relatively similar, if I remember correctly anyway. It's 1 copy of Loosen Up, 3 copies of Stay Calm, 2 copies of Gamble, and, of course, 3 copies of Daring Decision. To Stay Calm, when discarded, lets you draw another page. You plan to discard it with stuff like Gamble or Daring Decision. It's not necessarily as powerful as Olga's version, but it is still very solid. Ah, right, I forgot about this. So, Hod's Floor has a bit of a weird restriction here. We have to complete a reception using only pages whose coins are odd numbers. It's a bit fucky, but we can just do that by just going down to the first floor and just beating up some rats. We just gotta take a bunch of odd numbered shit, so... So I don't know, fucking, some copies of Silent Night. I'm actually gonna swap out, actually the grade 7 fixer with slashing seems to have better cards, so I'm just gonna do that instead. Just put in like all the generic shit, and keep in mind 0 does not count as an odd number, so you can't use that. But yeah, we can only do 1s and 3s. There we go. Now we just go back and fight the rats. As long as we complete it with only odd numbers, we should be just fine. Which, I mean, it's going to be impossible not to do, considering that I've built a deck consisting entirely of odd-numbered cards. Bonk. Bonk. And there we go. Easy peasy. Alright, now then. Let's go ahead and swap some pages around. We're going to want to use the Blunt Walter build for this one, if I remember correctly. And then we're also going to want Olga's page for solid DPS. Let's see, we can stand to upgrade this combat page a bit. Though we don't really need to change too much on it. Name of the game with this one's just raw DPS. So we're gonna want 1 copy of Loosen Up, 3 copies of Set Fire, 1 Suppress, and 2 Strong Strike. Alright. Entering the Book of the Red Shoes. These fucking monstrosities are the left shoe and the right shoe. The left shoe inflicts bleed, while the right shoe is attracted to targets with bleed. So if we can avoid giving any of our librarians any potential bleed through just like dodging attacks and inflicting solid DPS, we should be just fine. Wait for the face. There we go. That's one of them down. And now the other one should be a piece of cake. But yeah, alternatively, what you can also do is you can have the librarian that doesn't have bleed take the attacks from the right shoe, while the other librarian handles the left shoe since they've already got bleed. The fight's pretty interesting because it simultaneously teaches you target prioritization as well as just like how powerful bleed is.
안녕. 이번에도 따끈따끈한
Anyways, time to talk to
책대령이요.
Hot again. Hello. Got some fresh books for you. Hi, Roland. You're working hard as
그러게
always.
말이야.
You tell me.
어디에
If only our Miss Head Librarian
도서관장님이
could appreciate all his hard work
이런
with a
노를
huge reward or
거하게
anything.
엔젤라와는 잘 지내고 있어?
How are you doing with Angela, by the
그렇죠.
way?
가끔 무서울 때도
So,
있는데
I guess.
나름
She can be
할만해.
scary at times, but I can live with it.
엔젤라는
Angela seemed to be the most
너와
comfortable
얘기할
when she was talking with
그런가?
you. Really?
하긴
To be
지금까지
fair, all
만난
the librarians I've met so
사서들은
far
모두
did
엔젤라를
seem to
싫어하는
despise
것 같아.
Angela.
전에 말했었지.
You told me before about your motto of
그건
that's that and
그거고
this is this,
이건
right?
그래도
I've been
난
thinking,
그러지
and I don't think I
못하겠어.
can follow that.
그렇다면 엔젤라를
I'd have to
마냥
loathe
미워해야만
Angela
하는데
if
무조건적인 증오를 쏟아낼 수가 없어.
I'd have to loathe Angela with all my being, but I just can't get myself to bear any unconditional hatred towards her.
복잡한 길로
Oh
들어섰네.
boy, that's a good
그
turn.
이유로는
I'm guessing it's because
역시
Angela is a
엔젤라도
fair share of tragic
엔젤라는
history and
맞아.
stuff. That's right.
누구나
Everyone
저마다의
has their own
사정이
stories,
분명 있어.
even if someone is committing bad things right
단편적인
now.
행동만을
I don't
보고
want to judge them
판단하고
based
싶지
solely
않아.
on the snippets I see of
그래서
them.
난
So I try to
이해해보려고
understand
해.
them in depth.
아주 천사네 천사.
Man, you're an angel. Wish
예수나
I saw the Netsok were half as kind as you.
좋은
Do I
사람
look like a
같아?
good person to you, Roland?
그건 모르겠네.
Don't know about
상냥한
that.
사람도 좋은 사람인 것은
Kind and
모르겠나.
good aren't exactly one and the same.
치,
Is that
난
so?
좋은 사람은 아니었어.
I wasn't really a good person, you see.
나.
Oh,
혹시
this about your
말쿠스가
first and
말하던
second lives?
첫 번째,
Remember
두 번째
Malkuth talking about him.
말쿠트는
I see.
그렇게
That's how
말할 것
Malkuth put it.
같아.
Yeah, you're right.
내 첫 번째
My first life was a
다들
tragic
그런 것
one.
같더라.
That seems to be the case with
인류를
everyone's here.
치유하기 위해서
You're all doing
연구를
research to
했다며?
cure humanity,
나 때문에
right?
죽은 사람이 많아.
So many people were killed because of
네?
me. Huh?
네가
You're
사서로서
admittedly
전투를
pretty good
잘하고 있다고
as
해도
fighting good at
예전에
fighting as a
누군가를
librarian, but you
죽일
don't
만한
smell like a
냄새는
serial
풍기지
killer or
않는데.
anything.
그래 보여?
Do I? I still think I'm
난
directly responsible for their
내가
deaths.
머리에
I
밀고
snitched to the
있어.
head about the
우리가
experiments
어떤
we were
실험을
doing and the
하고
atrocious
있고
things we were
그렇게
committing.
머리에서
They
파견한
sent an arbiter to the
조율자가
laboratory and
연구실에
killed
들이닥치고
so many of my
난 그
colleagues.
사실을 알고
When I
참아
heard the
견딜
news,
수
I couldn't
없어서
take it anymore, so I
극단적인 선택을 했고
took my own life.
무슨 일이 벌어졌길래?
What happened there? I had to watch as
Malkuth,
Malkuth, Yesod,
Yesod,
and Netzach died horrible
Netzach,
deaths in that
그리고
laboratory.
실험에
And what happened to a
참여해서
young boy who
죽은
participated in the
아이,
experiment,
그것뿐만이 아니야.
Tippereth B. That's
사람들에게
not all.
약물을
We injected people
투여하고
with drugs and
그
recorded the
변화와
changes and
부작용을
side
도시
effects they
안에서?
made. Within the city?
아니,
No, the laboratory was in the
연구실은
outskirts to
외곽에
avoid the head
있었어.
and its eyes. Now you can see that I'm not a good person at all,
아니,
right? Nope,
내가 지금
it's
인상
not
찌푸린
that.
건
I'm frowning
이해가 안
because there's
갔어요.
one thing about the story I don't
사람 몇 명
understand.
죽이고
The head bothered
연구소만
to dispatch
머리에
an arbiter
조여자가
just to take
직접
care of a
행차했다고?
research project that got some people,
그것도 도시 내부가
people
아니라
killed.
외곽에서.
One that took place on the outskirts outside of the city's
이거
limits.
보니 말이 안 되는데.
This part doesn't make sense.
조율자가
You really
확실했어?
sure it was an arbiter?
그렇다고 들었어.
That's what I heard.
실제로
It matches what I learned in
두 번째
lobotomy club during my second life
내
too.
머리로는 납득이 안 가는군.
It's still too hard for me to believe. You're pondering over odd things,
롤라는
Roland. I thought you'd
역시
lambast me
이상한
for being a
그거야
traitor.
내가
Oh,
살아온
betrayals
곳에서
happen on a
내실은
daily basis where I used to live.
게다가 진짜
Besides,
배신은 더
real betrayals
잔혹하지.
tend to be a whole lot more
너도
cruel.
넌 둥지
Are you from one of
출신이었던
the
거야?
nests, Todd? Yeah, I was born in a nest
둥지에서
and went to school in a
다른
nest.
사서들도?
And the other librarians are too?
그래.
Most of them are.
뒷골목과
There's one
외곽
for the
출신이
back
있긴
streets and one from the
하지만
outskirts,
두 명
but that's
정도야.
about it.
다들
Damn, you guys were
엘리트였구만.
all elites, huh?
어쩌다 이렇게
Gotta wonder how you
기구한
ended up
삶을
living
살게
such miserable
됐을까?
lives.
근데 또 둥지에
You all
삶을
had the drive to
내비두고
leave behind the comfort of
외곽의
living in a
연구실에
nest
가서
for a
일할
research
정도면
facility in the
나는
outskirts.
생님이라고 하기도 못해.
That doesn't take it so determination.
강단이나
My bad for
배짱이
calling you
있었구나.
all a bunch of
열의도
spineless snobs.
가득했었지.
We were full of passion
그리고
too,
난
which I ended up
그
betraying.
말인즉슨
That means the
엔젤라를
reason you can't
무턱대고
blindly
싫어할
hate
수
Angel is
없다는
mostly an
이유는
excuse for
그런가
yourself.
봐.
I guess.
나도 한때
I made a huge mistake
지금은
once, but I want to be
더
better
나아지고
now.
싶어.
I want to become a better person.
더
I'm sure
나은
everyone
사람이
wants
찾는
to.
동시에
At the same time, a part of my mind still
엔젤라를
can't
용서할
forgive
수 없는
Angela.
마음이 있어.
벌써 이틀이나 소모했어.
We've already spent 2 days on this
생각보다
stalemate.
꽤 버텨주네.
You're holding up much better than I expected. Of course we are. Did you really think we'd go to sleep just because you told us to? However, it is only a matter of time. And time is what matters most to you right now.
직원들 피해가
Our
너무
employees
심해.
have sustained too much damage. The regenerators are at their limits too.
난
I put
너무나도
up with the
오랜
play
시간을
for such a
견뎌왔기
long
때문에
time. I
하루
could pass a
이틀은
day or
낮에
two in an
잘 나갔지.
instant.
하지만 최근에 이
But the
이틀은
last 2 days
너무나
have
길게
felt so
느껴지네.
long and slow.
엔젤라,
Angela,
너의
your
개인적인
filthy deed
눈물에서
born out of your
피었던
personal
더러움이
desires shall never be brought to fruition. Gah!
전과는 다르단다.
The circumstances are no longer the same as before, Gebra. I am now aware of the existence of ego and its capabilities. All employees from the welfare and disciplinary teams
어차피
have fallen.
너희는
You'll
계획대로
never get to
7일간의
spread the
빛을
light
뿌리지
for those
못해.
7 days you all
아무리
planned.
오래 버텨봐야
It would last
4일? 그 정도겠지.
perhaps 4 days at most.
그리고 나는
And I'd be
이
left with
3일간의
only 2 or
빛밖에
3
못
days
얻는
worth
거야.
of light for
뭐가
myself.
되었던
In any
서로에게
case,
좋지 않은 결과에
none of us
꼴찌.
will have won this battle. What is your point?
한 가지 제안을 할게.
I'd like to make a proposal.
난
I want to
살고 싶어.
live, you see.
엔젤라는
Angela offered us a
거래를
deal.
제안했어.
Many of the Sephira were
그리고
against it.
세피라?
Sephira?
아,
Oh,
세피라는
that's what the librarians were called back in
로보토미 때
Lobotomy Corp.
도서관에 잠들어
The 9
있던
librarians sleeping on
9
each floor,
명의
you know?
지적
그렇군.
I see. Yeah, the ones I
하긴
met
다들
didn't seem
반대하는
too
것
happy
같더라.
with this job.
그래서
This is why you all
엔젤라를
hate
싫어하는
Angela
거.
so much.
나와 말쿠트,
Me, Malkuth, Yesod, Netzach, and
그리고
Hakma
후크만은
were the ones
반대했어.
opposing the
나머지
offer.
4명은 찬성을
That means
했다는
the other
거군.
4 approved it. Angela was
완전히
completely alone, huh?
적극적인
To
찬성까지는
be fair, they
아니었어.
weren't actively supporting it. It
보류라고
was more of a
생각하니까
deferral.
잠깐.
One sec.
엔젤라는
Why were you
더
against
나아질
her
수
offer
있다고
if you thought you could
생각하면서
eventually become a better being?
이지
It's silly, I know.
난 그 와중에도
Even in the middle of all that, I was thinking I
내가
could repent for my
죽음으로써
sins with my
잠깐 또
death.
잠깐.
Hold on,
그
you
엔젤라가
what now?
망쳤다는
You're supposed to
계획이란 게
die at the end of the plan
완료되면
Angela
왜 죽는
ruined?
응.
Yep. The whole
왜냐면
thing was
모두
meant to end with us
작동
shutting
정지가
down,
되고
falling into an eternal
습관을
slumber,
잃은 채
knowing our long-desired wish was
잠을
fulfilled. Jeez, you really all
생각을
were
태미하고
ready to accept a
있었구만.
morbid fate like that.
롤라는 늘 이상한
You're always
곳에서
surprised
놀라네.
over the oddest details, Roland.
마지막까지도
I thought you'd blame me
도망쳤대.
for running away from my
나를
problem even
아니
at the end.
뭐.
No, that's a totally
자연스럽게
natural
반응한 거라.
reaction in my opinion. I'm not a
난
very
생각보다
strong or
강한 사람이
spirited
아니라
person,
이
so I get why you do
정도면
that. So,
엔젤라를
in
막을
summary,
때는
you objected
너에게
to
주어진
Angel's offer at
최후의
first
숙제라
because you wanted to
생각해서
forfeit your own life
반대했지만
as the last step of your
지금 좀
atonement. But now that
생각해보니
you've had some time to think
엔젤라를
things over, you're
지켜봐도
willing to
될
give
것
Angela a
같아.
chance?
맞아.
Yeah, that's about right.
나에게는 꽤
It was a rather
무겁고
heavy
힘든
topic for me,
이야기였는데
but you summed it up
뭐
neatly.
관계자가 아닌
Well,
입장에서
things are
볼
bound to
때는
seem lighter from an
어쩔 수 없이
outsider's perspective.
그래도 이야기를
Thanks for
들어준
listening
덕분에
anyways. It helped me
나도
sort through my
정리할
thoughts too.
정말해요.
You're welcome,
이것도
miss.
제
It's
일
all
중
part of my
하나.
work. We have now obtained some new pages. These ones are interesting as they're all red pages. We've got glitter. At the start of the scene, each enemy is lured at a 50% chance. Alerted enemies prioritize the librarian as a target and deal 2 to 4 damage with attacks, but you gain 1 to 2 power in clashes against alert enemies. There's axe, slash dice gain 1 to 3 power, but you take 2 to 5 stagger damage when a slash attack does not connect. And the most interesting one, obsession. All characters apply twice as many stacks of bleed. That applies to everyone. You, the enemies, everyone applies double bleed, which can be very dangerous with the proper builds. However, we don't really have anything that can make very good use of Obsession as a card at the moment, which is a shame because again, it's a really fun build. It's a really fun and funky build that you can come up with using Obsession, but at the moment we just don't really have anything to make good use of it. Anyways, let's swap back our other Walter page, grab our Olga page, and go take a look at the other reception for this area. Oh no, wait, not Mars' page, that one's dead. Wrong page. There we go. Let's take a look at the reception on the other side of Urban Legend. Book of Walter, and the Book of Zwei, South Section 6. We open on the scene with somebody getting the shit beaten out of them. Bastards like you need some beating. Get it into your thin skull.
경미,
That's enough,
무작정 패주게
young
된다고
me.
살 길이
Beating them
생기지는
to
않아.
death won't do us any
아무리
good.
여기가 22고
District 22 may be our turf, and these chumps are beaten to a pulp, maybe from Zwei's Section 6, but we're talking about an association here. We're gonna be in even bigger trouble if you kill them all. Walter! If only that bastard kept his promise, we wouldn't have gotten into this mess. We needed the floor plan of El Corp's nest. The Zwei had it. We should teach these fuckers a lesson on how important it is to keep
밤이
promises.
찾아올 거야.
Night will fall soon.
청소부들이 언제 들이닥칠지도
Sweepers will
몰라.
come for our asses any second
범죄
now.
로프는
And the thumb wouldn't
연락조차
even
오지.
contact us. We shed blood gathering intel on the distortion for that bastard Walter, and this is how he
정신
repays
나간
us.
톱니교단 놈들
Those
때문에
zealots at the Church of
우리
Gears took out more than half our
조직원들
syndicate.
그 교주는
Their leader was an inhuman freak,
그렇게
alright.
핏똥
We
싸가며
worked our asses
톱니교단임을
off securing the
가려
goods from the
확실히
church, and for what?
범주에게
We can't hand over the floor
대사든지
plan of El
설계도를
Corp's nest to the
넘겨주지
thumb. All that's left is for us to get purged by the thumb for failing our job.
애초에 협회 따위랑
Shouldn't have made a
거래하면 안
deal with
되는
an
거였는데.
association in the first place.
월터는
At least Walter was a
말이
sensible
통하는
one.
상대였어.
Maybe something happened to
아무리
him.
그 녀석이
He might have been a
비열한
cunning old
꼰대라고
fart, but he
해도
was still the director of Zwei South Section 6. Besides, usually
그러다가
field jobs
앞선에
with men.
나서
Doesn't make sense for him to die too
그러지
suddenly.
못할 것도
Anything can
없어.
happen.
이런 젠장.
For fuck's sake, you've really killed them all.
선택지가 하나
That's
늘었고
one more option for us.
똑박 돌아서
You've done it
앞뒤 안
again.
가리고
Flew into a
뼈와
blind
내장을
rage and
벗겨버렸네.
crushed their bones and guts to a pulp.
아무리
Young
너가
me,
잔챙이들이라고
even if they
해도
were a bunch of small fry from
수를
Section 6,
쫓아버리면
killing this many of them might get
지방이
Section 2 or 3 to chase us
스파이가
down.
작정하고 해결사를
That's why I
풀어버릴
can send
수도
an army of
있어.
fixers' ass now.
개새끼들은
These sons of
좀더 약속을
bitches
소중히
need to
할 필요가
understand what the
있었어.
weight of a
뭘
promise
믿고
is.
이러는 거야?
I hope you have a backup plan for when the Zwei come to thank us for that lesson.
이거나 읽어봐.
Just look at this. An envelope?
이게
The rumored invitation to that library.
오늘의
Hold
책
on. Among the books of the day they
중에
listed,
월터의
there's
책?
the Book of
그런
Walter.
거였어.
So that's what
있는
happened.
구석이
You had a plan
있던데.
after all.
뭐야 경미.
What? Young me?
그러면 넌
So you already knew that
월터가
Walter died in the
도서관에서
library and
죽은 걸
still
알고도
pulverized Section
육관에서
6?
약속에
It's
소중한
about
새길
sending
필요가
a
있었을
damn
게.
message!
조직은 해결사와 다르게 꼭
Syndicates have a tendency to kill more than they need
지들
to.
내키는 대로 일을
Unlike fixers.
저지른다니까.
They cause trouble just because they feel like it.
청소부와
Anyway, what are they
엄지는
trying to do getting sweepers of the
일을
thumb
벌이려는 거야?
involved?
청소부는 알고
I
있어.
might know about the sweepers. You do?
하긴
Well, I guess they
청소부는
are
인간을
infamous.
잘게 찢은
I saw them
후
tear humans to
녹여서
pieces
연료로
and use them as
사용하던
fuel. And I like that in real life
비슷해.
too. Sort
청소부들의
of.
강함도
One sleeper's
강함이지만
tough as is, but
무서운
what's
건
really scary is their organizational
밤마다
power.
뒷골목
They
어디선지
crawl out of the
몰라도
woodwork every night and
숨을
clean the
쉬어
back
뛰어나
streets.
정확한 규모도
We can't even
포함한데
guess how many of them there
처리해도
are.
처리해도
No matter how many we take
다음날
down, more
밤이면
would show up the next
또
night.
시간 되겠어?
Think we can make it
좀
back in time?
빠듯하지
Isn't
않아?
it a bit tight? It is, but we'll probably get back just in
시간은
time.
맞출 수.
환영합니다, 손님.
Greetings, dear guests. I am Angela,
이곳의
the director and
관장이자
librarian of my role's
됐고.
namesake. Scratch that! Just let us in. We're in a hurry.
성미가 급하신 분들이
You are rather impatient, I see.
최고.
I said shut up
했지.
and let us in. Now.
당신의 책을
May
찾으실
you
수
find your book in this place. We are now fighting the Stray Dogs. These guys specialize in blunt cards and beat people to death. Their main ability is Punch to the Solar Plexus, which increases your blunt damage. Very dangerous. Fortunately, we have literally twice as many speed dice as they do. Thanks to that, we can basically just kind of, you know, beat the shit out of them. Bonk. Bonk. Like that. Let's grab Metallic Ringing and give it to you. Yeah, we got Loosen up early because we did the general invitations, but this is normally where you'd acquire this card. That's the thing, the general invitations, depending on when you do them, will sometimes have cards that are like not meant to be gotten until a fair bit later, depending on how large the floor is. Meaning that you could potentially get some pretty overpowered stuff for the tier of the floor that you're currently on. Well, not necessarily overpowered, but just generally like very good cards for the floor that you're on because they're not even from that floor. They're meant for a floor higher up. But still, point is, we're also going to have to keep in mind which of the encounters we do first. Because now that there are multiple choices, there are multiple orderings as well. We don't want to walk blindly into a fight that's going to get our asses kicked. We gotta be a bit more strategic about things. We gotta plan out our route. We gotta go through things in the optimal manner to ensure that we don't end up getting fucked over. One must be very careful about things, lest we end up dead. Bonk. Alright, now the Stray Dogs themselves. There's actually a really interesting card that these guys have. This fucking thing! Brawl is a very overpowered 3-cost card for this stage in the game. However, there's a caveat to it. On use, replace all dice on this page with ones from a random page in the hand whose original cost is 4 or lower, excluding counter dice. And this guy has a card called Scratch That. All dice on this page lose 2 power. However, if Brawl copies the dice from Scratch That, they don't have the power reduction caveat. That's the main thing about this card. Also, if you copy Brawl's dice with another Brawl card, you still get the on-hit light restoration. And this dude's deck even accommodates that. Restore 1 light at the end of the scene if the character did not use any pages. He's got like a fuck ton of 3-cost pages. It's definitely a very interesting strategy. In fact, a lot of the cards from the Stray Dogs are pretty interesting as it is. Double Kick, deal 1 damage to an opponent upon winning a clash. Stuff like I'll End You. Deep Breaths, which is just free light restoration at a random chance. Shocking Blow. Like, All these cards are definitely very interesting, and they can have some pretty fucky effects. However, the boss decided to use Scratch That raw without using it through anything else, which is good for us, because that means that we have a potentially better chance here. If he had used it through something else, we might have actually been in trouble, but since he's just using it raw, we've actually got a shot here. He's using the card raw. No condom! Ow. That being said, it still hurts like a motherfucker. However, it is very easy to stagger these guys due to the fact that they each only have one speed die. We have 2. Bonk. Bonk. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, Brawl copied a Scratch That he had in his hand from the looks of things. But yeah, Brawl is definitely a very fucky card that is very fun to take advantage of. In addition, we also now have a better user for our blunt damage strategy, instead of just using 2 copies of the same key page. In addition, this is also the first time we're actually going to get some accessories for our librarians.
짜증나지 않아?
Isn't it
곧 네가
annoying
하려는
to listen to your
실험을
silly
하겠지.
chirping?
녀석들이
Deal with the
내뱉는
things
말
those
말이야.
guests say, I mean.
꽤 많은 녀석이
A lot of them
보자마자
don't
험한
hesitate
말을
to
하잖아.
spout harsh words at you. Surprised you can
성격이
withstand it
우리가
all.
초대해서 와준
There are
귀한
precious guests we
손님이니까
invited, so it's only fair to
대우해드려야지.
treat them as
그리고
such.
누군가에게
Besides, I'm
맞춰주는
already
건
used to keeping
익숙해.
others pleased in
그
conversation.
투철한 직업 정신은
I envy that
존경스럽다.
professionalism
나중에
of yours.
뒷골목에 식당
Maybe we should give a
업체들
lecture on
데리고
hospitality to all the
서비스업에 대해서
restaurant owners in the
강연이라도
back
해줘.
streets someday.
다들
You really
날
learn a
보고
thing
좀
or two
그래도
from you.
말이야.
But still, it'd probably be a lot
손님에 따라
easier on you to be more flexible with
여러모로
greeting guests rather than
많으니까.
sticking to the same polite
성공은
attitude.
해줄게.
I'll take note of that. Angela's finally going to start dishing out some sass. But before that, we got ourselves a new deck to set up. Well, actually, I might as well do this fight first. Give Netsuck the... where is it? Ah, yeah. Give Netsuck Walter's page. And to give Julian Olga's page. There we go. Child of the Galaxy. This one's interesting. We have Pebble, restore 10% HP at start of scene. Does not activate if current HP is 1. Don't leave me. HP does not go below 1. Becomes staggered upon taking lethal damage. After 2 scenes, recover HP equal to the current HP of another ally. If all allies have 1 HP at the start of the scene, die! Parting Tears. At the start of the scene, if there's an ally with 1 HP, all characters lose 10% of their max HP. This includes the enemies. So this one's a bit of an interesting encounter. You gotta kill the enemies around the same time. I say around because it is 2 scenes, so because of that you do have a bit of leniency. But you want to try to kill the enemies around the same time, because otherwise you're going to end up having everyone take damage, which can be a bit difficult to manage. That being said, however, our deck is a bit overpowered for this point in the game. Just a teensy-weensy bit. So because of that, it's very easy to just... out DPS these things instead of dealing with their gimmick and straight up kill them the fungular entertainment way, featuring Sheldon Cooper from the Big Bong Sorority. And just like that, we win. It's not really, this one's not really that difficult. You just gotta beat the shit out of them fast enough.
그거 알아요?
Hey, do you know that art is inseparable from alcohol? Oh yeah, I heard that. They say art's all about flashes of inspiration, right? You know, maybe we're on the same page after all. Oh, brought a different booze this time. Absinthe? This is the liquor with a legacy that's so deeply tied to art, it's almost legendary. So in charge of the arts, I could use some stimulation to work like a real artist. Fun fact! Absinthe is like some of the strongest alcohol in history. It is 90 to 148 proof. For context, the strongest traditional alcohol is about, if I remember correctly, yeah, the standard proof of vodka is 80. Absinthe's proof is potentially almost double that. So yeah, very strong shit. But it is also a far more natural form of alcohol. Most stuff like green ants, sweet fennel, other medicinal and culinary herbs. So for a character as Netzach, it's also one of like the few alcohols that's naturally green in color. It's like one of the only alcohol that actually has a color. One of the most common people it's associated with being Van Gogh. So it makes sense for absinthe to be Netzach's alcohol of choice. I don't know, I just thought that was a neat detail. This one's pretty strong. But it's charming nonetheless. What if Angela scolds us like the last time, though? Yeah, we can worry about that later. Works for me. By the way, I thought I'd mention there's no need to worry about courtesy and stuff with me. I'd say it's more comfortable for me to go with courtesy. Alright then. Look at this. Glowing green liquor. It's just like the arts of the city. Imitations that are provocative, but nothing else. Imitations of imitations, in fact. Netzach's just your casual, local, friendly stoner, constantly getting drunk and high on the job. He's a chill dude. Don't see any point in being original either. Like the summer to something else's imitation too. As if stuff like originality or arts even matter in the city in the first place. All those self-proclaimed artists are nutcases. Seem to be mistaking any stimulation that's stronger than usual for art. It's like I'm praising this drink as a work of art. The pianist's music must have been one hell of a stimulant then. Its music was hair-raising masterpiece that awoke the great city from its nullity. Well, the intensity was unprecedented, that's for sure. Some are still hung over from that performance like they were slammed with a real strong booze. How about you? I must be one of them, I suppose. Never heard that kind of music before. Guess you're taking a liking to the arts, seeing as you're talking about all this. True. If I could choose to live a different life, I might have been a painter or something. Painter, huh? I'd be able to quietly express all my emotions on the painting. Maybe I could have lived a humble life, just like that. And how did a modest man like yourself end up getting involved in something as grandiose as curing humanity? It really is a mystery. Not even sure. I think I wanted to be of help to someone. Ooh, a someone. Perhaps your first love? Was it love? Really? Even if it were, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. But I was still holding on to the hope that I could make something better. If I let go of my life, I could bring a bigger hope to some other person. So I participated in the research. That's why I stood against Angela.
슬슬 이 교착 상태를 끝내도 되지
Isn't it about time we ended this stalemate? We're at the
이
dawn
이상
of the
시간을
fourth
끈다면
day.
너희
If
모두를
you are to
바로
drag on
처분할
it
수밖에
any
없어.
further, I'll be left with no choice but to terminate you all instantly. I'm with you on this one. We're never gonna beat you at this rate. I didn't fight to spread only a meager half of the light.
개구라.
Gebra, how could you agree with her? We might end up losing everything.
나도 찬성할게. 에녹의 죽음은
I'm with
이렇게
Angela
어중간한
too.
의미를 가지는
Enoch's
거지.
death deserves better meaning than this half-baked light.
전 모든 것을 잃을 수
I'm
있는
not willing to
건
gamble with
하지
everything
않습니다.
we've worked for thus far.
네 말대로면 지금까지 이곳에서 죽어간 직원들도 되살아날 수
Say,
있다는 거야?
Angela, if what you're saying is true, does that mean the employees who died in this place can come back as
그래.
well?
너희와
Indeed.
직원들은
You and your
새로운
employees
몸으로
will wake up with
깨어나게
brand new
될
그렇다고.
bodies.
우리와
That doesn't erase all the pain we and the employees went through, though.
우리들의 노력도
And all of our hard work, too.
이 거래가 성사된다고
Even if this deal were to be put through, it would only delay the inevitable. How can we trust you not to betray us yet again?
배신?
Betray?
웃기지도 않아.
Don't be
우리가
absurd.
예전에 한
Have we
번이라도
ever
이
once
빛을
gathered around a
어떻게
table
할지
calmly
사이좋게
discussing what we
약속이라도
should
한
do
적이
with this light?
없었지.
We
그러니
haven't.
이번에 약속을 하게
I'll make sure to
된다면
keep this
즉
promise,
너희의
though.
입장에서나
Both you
내
and
입장에서나
I
온전한
require
빛이
the
필요해.
light in its whole, albeit for different
난 지금
reasons.
당장이라도
I could use
이
up this
빛을
residue
사용할
of
수
light
있지만
left for me right now,
가능하다면
but I'd much
온전한
prefer to
빛을
have
더
all of it.
살아가고
So
싶어.
I'd like to live more. I don't
너희는
care
이대로
if
죽을지
you want to
어떨지는
die
몰라도
or not.
난
I
살고
want
싶어.
to live my own life.
그리고
And
알아가고
I'd like to
싶어.
learn more about the city and this
세상
world I live in.
괜찮아.
Angela,
빛을 다시
once we've
온전히
reclaimed
회수하게 될 때,
all of the
그때가
light,
되면
you are free to lay
너희들
judgment
의지대로
upon me when
나를
that time
물론
comes.
나도 다시
Though I won't sit
맞서겠지만
back,
내
of
거래의
course.
제안은 여기까지야.
That is all I
반대
have to
의견이
offer.
없다면
If no one
진행하도록
else
할게.
objects, I'll proceed with it right away.
난 또다시 파수꾼이 되어
I shall
널
become a sentinel
지켜볼
once
거다.
more and watch your every action.
의견은
It appears that we have all come to an agreement.
나도 이대로 끝낼 생각은
Don't worry.
없으니
I have
걱정하지
no
마.
plans to let this be the end.
삶이 다시 한번 너희를 부를
Life will
테니
call out to you once again.
잠시
So take a nap until
쉽게
then.
죽고 싶다고 입에 담는
Whoever
사람들은
says out loud they
전부
want to die is
거짓말이에요.
lying.
누구보다 살고 싶어서.
They actually want to live more than
오히려
anyone,
죽고
so they
싶다고
express that
말해버리는
urge in
거죠.
one way or
하지만
another. On the
정말
other
죽을 수
hand,
있는 사람은
when someone is genuinely willing to
누구보다
die,
조용하게 사라져버려요.
they end up disappearing silently.
엔젤라가 살고
When
싶다고
Angela said
말했을
she wanted to live,
때 느꼈어요.
I felt something within me
저도
that I want to live
죽고
too.
싶은 사람 어디 있겠냐?
No one really wants to die, man.
죽기 직전에
They all seem to
다들
regret it
후회하는 것
moments
같- 뭐
before death.
대부분 그때쯤이면
Well, it's usually too
돌이키지
late for them by
못하지만
the time they
잘
realize that.
아시네요.
You seem well versed in that
직업
kind of stuff.
성격상 그런 일을
You
몇
get to
번
see all
하고
kinds of
말이지.
people when you work as a
살고
fixer.
싶다는
When I saw that
절박함을 제가
desperation to
로봇
live,
위에서 지키지
I was reminded
못한
of the many
많은
employees who
직원의
died in front of my
죽음이
eyes back in
있어졌어요.
Lobotomy
이 일을
Corp.
구하고자 한다면서
It's ironic how we were trying to save
당장
humanity,
눈앞에
it
있는
couldn't save
사람은
the people
구하지
right
그리고
next to us.
생각하게 되더라고요.
That's when I thought,
만약
if I could live more,
제가
what would I
앞으로
want to
좋은
do?
생각이지.
It's a good idea to think about your
다음을
next move, yeah.
어때요?
How about you, Roland?
이곳에서
Are you going back to being a
자유로워지면
fixer once
뭐
you're free?
그건 차차
Well, I'll have to
생각해봐야지.
think more on that.
아직
I
난
still have a
갈 길이
long
참
way to go.
힘내보자고.
Let's give it our best shot. Alright,
저는
here's to
건배!
us.
좋네요.
I can toast to that, alright. Here's to us. Just two best bros getting drunk on the job. Anyways, all of the Star Child's abilities are related to health. There's the Pebble. At the start of each scene, 3 random pages in the hand gain the Pebble status. You recover 3 to 7 HP when using a page with Pebble on it, but lose 1 to 3 when using a page without it. Teardrop gives a single ally plus 1 dice power permanently, but on death, all characters take 50% of their max HP as damage, up to a maximum of 60. And the final one is a Token of Friendship. For 3 scenes, all allies recover 10% of max HP at the start of the scene. Very powerful stuff. We have now been upgraded from Urban Legend to Urban Plague. Scene 4. He says I don't have a disease. Thelma, dear. It's all thanks to me that you could keep your position as head of the Southern branch. So maybe you should return that favor, no?
알아.
I
그런
know.
거래였지.
That was the deal.
이번에는 무엇을
What do you want
원하나?
this time? I want your crew to take care of the things on this list.
곧 찾아낼 수
I
있을
think I
것
might be
같아서
able to
말이야.
locate it soon enough. These are all
하나같이
ridiculous
미친 우리들.
requests.
그래도 이런 일이라니.
Well, though we have the right team
이과가
for this.
제격이지 않겠어?
Let me guess. Section 2?
맞아.
Yes.
그렇지?
See?
난 언제나
I'm a
셀마를
very
배려하고
considerate
있다고.
person, Thelma.
관아협회가
The
도시
library
질병으로
is on the
지정한
list as
도서관
well,
목록에
now
있고.
appointed as an urban plague by the Hana Association.
도서관은 내가 눈여겨보고
That's the
있는
one
건
I'm particularly interested in, actually.
롤랑,
Roland?
어?
Yeah? Huh?
네 말대로면
If your
앞으로
estimation is
조직과
correct,
나에게
we'll have to
스님을
thoroughly
대접하기
prepare
위한
ourselves for
준비를
guests from major
더 확실히
syndicates
해야
and even
한다는
wings
거야.
from now on, right?
여기서 겪은 일
That was
중
the third most
세
surprising
번째로
thing to happen to me
또
here.
무슨 헛소리를
What
하려고.
nonsense are you going on about this time?
롤랑이라고 불렀잖아.
You just called me
네
Roland,
이름이 롤랑이잖아.
because that's your name.
아니,
I mean,
그렇긴
yeah,
한데.
but you've never referred to me with my name
너에
before.
대한 신뢰도가
My level
올랐고
of trust for you has
우호
increased, and I
관계를
wanted to
위해 보다
reinforce our
친밀하게
amity.
불러봤어.
So I tried referring to you in
문제는?
relatively more intimate terms. Is there a problem?
에헤이,
Come on,
저렴해.
that's a boring
그래도
answer.
친밀하게
It's been a long while
부른다.
since anyone called me by my name. Still, the last time I heard was from my family, I guess.
할머니는 예전에
Didn't you say your
사라졌다면서.
grandmother disappeared long ago?
아,
Oh, I had a wife, you see.
신기하네.
That's intriguing.
하하. 나
You're
같은
not
것도
intrigued by the fact
결혼했다는
someone
게
like me
신기한
managed to
건
get
아니지?
married, right? You're intrigued by the whole concept
인간의
of the
비효율적인
inefficient practice known
결혼이라는
among
얘기가
humans
신기한
known as marriage, right?
이야기해줘.
Please tell me more about your marriage.
참고로
Just a heads up, it's an overall banal story with some sad moments. Don't
별로
think you'll really like
누군가의
it.
새로운 이야기는
I'm always open for new
환영이니까.
stories of
자기
others,
이야기는
says the
제대로
one
안
who won't even
해주면서
tell me the story of her own
내
life.
이야기는
I can't bring myself to
지긋지긋해서
recount that
도저히
story
내
ever
입으로 말하고
again.
싶지
I'm
않아.
simply too sick of it.
쇠바퀴같이
It's a
반복했던
boring and trifling
이런
story that
1만
looped
년의
over and over and over and over and over for 10
같은
millennia.
책을 100만 년
Imagine
동안
reading the
공부하면
same book for a
너라도
million
마찬가지일까?
years. Surely you'd grow to resent
지루한
it.
책을
I'd have
5번만
choked myself
읽어도
by the tire on the
넥타이로
fifth time I'd be
내목을
forced to
졸랐겠지.
read it.
뭐,
Well,
난 미친 듯이
anyway,
일만 했어.
used to work my ass
납치할
off.
것도 없더라고.
And nothing better to
자란
do.
환경 때문인지
Wasn't a bad fit
몰라도
for fixer work coming from a rough
해결사일이 꽤
background and
잘
all.
맞았어.
Kept working like a busy bee, got a house in a decent
정신없이
spot, and
일로
met a
시간을
so-called
보내
soulmate.
기가 세던지.
She was a tough woman. When I looked at her back, I felt the
사람의
comfort of
틈을
finding a place to
바라보고
belong to. Something I
내
couldn't
집을
feel even when I
구했을 때
bought my
그녀 성문에
house.
좀 뛰어보려고
Made so many attempts to try and
얼마나
catch her
많을까.
attention. Oh,
너무
am I dragging on
길게.
too long?
계속해.
It's fine. Please, continue.
그래도 일이 일인지라
I did get a
말을
bunch of
붙일 기회가
opportunities to
많았거든.
see her since we were in the same industry.
참고로 내 아내는
My
꽤
wife was a
높은
pretty
등급의
highly graded
해결사였어.
fixer, by the way.
괜히
She was
듬직하다고
dependable
한게
for a
아니야.
reason.
아무튼 정말
Anyway,
많은 우여곡절
countless ups and downs
끝에
later, we tied the
난
knot.
간단하게 말했지만
I put it simply here, but the heartache I felt in
마음고생
those twists and turns was real, you know.
서로 악착같이
Both of us had
벌어진
piled up
돈이
a hefty
있으니
amount of money
시와
working like
살점이
dogs, so we
난무하는
decided to quit being
해결사일을
fixers for a while and
내려놓고
spend a peaceful time
조금
together.
진부한
This
표현이지만
part's kind of corny,
그
but
뒤로는 정말
happy is the only
행복했어.
word to describe how I felt,
내
really.
삶은 늘
I was alone my
혼자였는데
whole life and finally had
유일하게
someone to
막
rely
서로의
on.
고민이라곤
All we had to
점심에
worry
어떤
about was
음식을
what to have for
먹고
lunch, where to take a
저녁에
stroll in the
어디로
evening,
산책을 하러 갈까.
what to name our child and
아이
stuff.
그런데 어느 날
Then one day, I got an urgent call from a friend
와서
asking me to do a
잠시
request
멀리
far
떠나
away from home.
여기서부터 슬슬
You
느낌이
can
올 거야.
probably guess where this is going by
별로
now.
큰 일도 아니었고
The job wasn't a huge
보수도
deal,
괜찮아서
and the pay was
다녀오겠다고
alright,
했지.
so I decided to take it.
아내도
The
흔쾌히
lady who lived with
허락해줬고
me said okay too.
아내는 파전을
I was
정말
dispatched to a
좋아했어.
district famous for paeon,
내가
which is my
파견된
wife's
곳은
favorite food.
파전이
I could almost see
유명했는데
her mouth water at the thought
배웅해줄
of eating it
때도
when she sent me
난그
off.
기대에 부응하기
Flew
위해
up to my better half's
거금
expectations, I
들여
purchased a
유사의
stasis
현상
preservation
보존
box from U-Corp
포장
to present
상자까지
her with warm paeon
따끈한
straight from the
그런데
kitchen.
와보니
But a huge
내가
incident occurred in
살던
my home
지역에
district
큰
while I was
사고가
away.
발생했더라.
The house collapsed,
집은 무너진 지
and my
오래고
wife died along with the
아내와
child she
뱃속
was still
난
pregnant
한동안
with,
펑펑 울며
I cried for a long
세상과
while,
도시를
cursing this world
저지었지.
and
내가
the city.
기껏
I
발버둥 쳐서
writhed
얻은
and struggled
행복은
trying to earn this happiness. So why does it have to
이렇게
slip out of my
쉽게
hands
벗어나자.
so easily?
이야기 끝.
Alright, that's the end of my story. Roland, are you familiar with the concept of a wife guy?
이런 일은 도시에서 누구나 겪기 마련이야.
This kind of stuff can happen to anyone in the
견딜
city.
수 있느냐?
It's only a matter of
없느냐.
endurance.
견딜 수
And
있었고.
you can endure that
내
trial?
나름대로 매듭
I'm trying to settle it on my
지으려는
own
두 번째로
terms.
놀랐던 일은 뭐야?
What was the second most surprising thing for you,
Oh?
by the way? Hmm?
아,
Oh, the working here suits me
여기
better than I
일이
thought, I
생각보다
guess.
잘
Saving the
맞았다는
biggest
거.
surprise for last. It's no fun to
가장
spoil
놀랐던
everything at
일은
once, is it?
어련하실까?
Fine then, I'll leave you with
나머지
sorting the rest
책정-
of the books. We have now gained the ability to transfer passives. Through passive attribution, you can slot the passives of one key page into another. You check the list of key pages that possess passive abilities of other key pages from the attribution list, and see the list of key pages that are currently attributed to others. Each passive ability is a cost, and key pages have a cost threshold along with the max quantity. It limits how many passives can be equipped at the same time. Also, no more than one of the same passive ability can be equipped at once. This is noteworthy. Each line of the passive counts as one of these slots. In addition, you have a maximum cost for the number of slots you can put on, based on the current level of the library. So if you were wondering what that number is next to the abilities, there you have it. So for example, now Olga can utilize all of the Molar Office passives, meaning that we get the HP regen and the strength from page discarding. It's very neat. In addition, we also have a use for all of the other generic pages we've been getting that give stuff like generic slash damage increases, HP recovery upon winning a clash, and more importantly, we can finally make use of the Dead Mars page that we've had for ages. We can essentially make bootleg Mars now if we wanted to, though we've gotten far enough in the game that I don't really think it's necessary. But yeah, this is where the attribution rule that I previously talked about comes into effect. We are allowed to attribute the abilities of dead key pages. So we are allowed to do that. Anyways, I might as well just put on the grade 7 fixer slash damage boost increase. Let's see, as for Netsock, let's do... We can put on Mars page for talent, that one's really useful. We can do his Y fixer page for keeping in stride, that one's also pretty helpful. Let's see. And most of the pages I have on him are, well, I do actually have a decent spread of damage types. So I can actually just go ahead and do like a bunch of these abilities. Like we can do slash and, like we can do slash and pierce. There we go. But anyways, now we got a bunch of pages from the thumb. Or well, from the stray dogs, not the thumb, rather. Doi. We are going to need to go back and get the rest of them. However, the stray dogs page is very notable now that we actually have the ability to attribute pages, because additional blunt damage is going to be very helpful when we can put that onto pages that can actually do shit. But yeah, from here the path splits again. Now we have 4 godforsaken options to choose from, and it will be like this for the rest of the game. Ta-da! But yeah, there are now 4 separate storylines to follow, each of them branching off / related to the 2 previous ones. On this side, we're going to have to deal with things like fixer syndicates and distortions, given what the Molar Office was sent to investigate. And meanwhile, on the other side, we're going to have to deal with various criminal syndicates, like the Thumb and the Index, as well as some external third parties like fixer offices. Each one of these branches has their own storylines that all spur off from Walter. It turns out that a lot of people knew Walter and thought he was a bit of a dick. For example, you can see that Walter's page here pretty much only talks about money. And one of the whole reasons that Walter was interested in the library, rather than the other, rather than Isadora, and that was only because they wanted to help San, is money and approval of status. Specifically when he saw the Book of the Distortion. So now, a lot of people knew San, and a lot of people thought he was a fucking dick. So some of these are going to be tied to some of these stories are going to be tied to characters who are in some way related to San and think he's a dick, or are related to the other factors that are happening, like for example that stalled warp train that we saw earlier, or the fact that an entire syndicate just kind of vanished. So yeah, lots of interesting threads to follow, but we will have to save that for next time. I think I redeemed myself this time around. Because last time I ended up with 3 dead pages, one of which was Mars. But I didn't lose any pages this time. So, I'm proud of myself. Anyways, let's find some random funny music to play us off. Let's see. Ah, God, yep, this works. This song is basically just the ultimate representation of the shitpost that is my channel. Let's go raid Riley, why not? For those of you who don't know who Riley is, they are a variety streamer here on Twitch. I'd say they play a bunch of different games, but pretty much they've been exclusively playing Dead by Daylight recently. So, as for the raid message, let's do... Beam Brigade got drunk with the head librarian of the arts after fighting a literal child made out of stardust. I'd say that sums things up rather well. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Super appreciate it. And I might as well give you all an update now before stream ends. Thank you all so much for your support on that emergency stream that I did recently. Thanks to your guys' help, I was able to get another... Actually, wait, hang on. I gotta cancel this so I can properly express my thanks. Thanks to your guys' support on the emergency stream that I did not too long ago, I was able to not only afford to fix my art tablet, and I got my group project for the game design stuff submitted on time. Because we do have like a repair service on campus. Problem is they cost a fortune. But yeah, I was able to get that all repaired and everything. Plus, my professor actually complimented my level design work, which made me very happy. But yeah. And then, in addition to that, I was finally able to get another appointment with my therapist going so I can get those much-needed accommodations so that I can finally have some breathing room when it comes to my classes. So, thanks to that, hopefully, now that I can get that breathing room, I'll be able to stream more consistently for you guys. And just, you'll see like just a general improvement to my mood and everything on, just on my, just like a lot of general improvements in my mood and everything on stream. But yeah, seriously, your support means the absolute world to me, and I can't thank you all enough. So, with that, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all back here tomorrow for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.